Ladies and gentlemen, now it's Too Late with Alan Mosley.
Yeah. I'm excited. It's episode 200. This is episode 200. Can you believe it?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Like,
that's a lot of episodes.
Like when we did 50, and then when we did 100, and then when we did 150, and everyone was like, "This can't continue." I mean, come on, right? Like, you're not going to just keep doing this show, and we did. So take that, I guess. Guys, welcome back to another episode of It's Too Late. I am your host, Alan Mosley, joined as always by the number one producer in late night. It's Dave Wolomowski. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Had a great day. Hung out with the family. Had some quality time.
Yeah.
Took a day off of work.
Oh,
it was nice. And yeah. I think this is gonna be great. I'm excited. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm struggling since time change, man. Ugh, dude.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how the change of an hour can have such a profound effect, like on everything.
Yeah.
On your whole. And, you know, the thing is that we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, and I don't really have a time to do a whole segment on the whole, like, daylight savings time thing. But I did want to say something about it, and that is that it's the time changing that's the worst, right? Either way, whether you're springing forward or you're falling back, it's just awful. But if we're going to stop time change, we really ought to stay on standard time. Right? Like it's called standard time because it's standard time. We should
make sense.
We shouldn't be daylight savings time forever. It should be standard time. So of course, what do you think the government's going to do after hearing the pleas of everyone forever that there shouldn't be time change? They finally decide that they want to stop time change, and what do they want to do? They want to make it permanent daylight savings time. Of course. Like why would they do it?
Are they really talking about that?
Yeah, they are really talking about that. And I'll tell you what, it kind of makes me mad because let me tell you, like, this is my take on it. It's a redistribution of sunlight from the working class who have to get up in the morning, right? Who have to actually get up in the morning, go to work, kids that get up early to go to school, whatever. And they take that hour and they give it to kind of what I refer to as the laptop class. The people who are working from an office or from home. They do a lot of their business and consumerism at night. They don't, they're not getting up at the crack of dawn, right? Like those people wouldn't know what a day's work was if it hit them in the face. But I've got a way for you to discuss this with your leftist neighbor. Are you ready? When your leftist neighbor says, "I'm so glad they're stopping time change. I'm glad we're going to stay in daylight savings time forever. I like having that extra hour of sun in the evening." This is what you tell them.
Yeah.
But what effect is that going to have on climate change?
Oh. And just let them stew in that.
Yeah, and then they're going to be thinking, "Oh, that's right. It's a whole extra hour.
Yeah.
We're going to literally cook." Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See?
Got
him.
Yeah, right. We should have
left wing destroyed.
We should have a got 'em graphic. We should have a logics and facts graphic, I feel like. All right. You know what? Whether it's the grocery store or the gas pump or any number of other places, Americans are concerned about inflation. I bet you guys have noticed inflation up there, haven't you?
Yeah, everything's either getting more expensive or smaller. Or
yeah.
Gas is insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
But don't you worry, Dave. We've got elected leaders like Vice President Kamala Harris on the scene. Do we have a picture of Kamala Harris, by the way?
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there she.
Oh,
that never gets old. It really doesn't. But the reason why I bring her up is that she was asked recently about how should people be prepared to deal with inflation, and what is the government going to do to fix the problem. Here, take a look.
If I can ask you, Madam Vice President, President Biden has said that Americans will feel some pain for the sake of defending freedom and liberty, but there does seem to be no end game in sight. How long should Americans expect? How long should we be bracing for this really sort of historic inflation and some unprecedented gas prices?
Sure. In terms of the discussions that the President, Johannes, and I had, they ranged in subject, including the issue of the Black Sea, and I'll let him explain in more detail as he would like. But we are, again, fully aware and apprised, because we are in constant communication with the President, with his administration here, about the concerns that they have about the entire region and, frankly, the vulnerability. All you have to do is look at the map.
Was that the right video?
I think it seemed like something got spliced in there.
Yeah. Well, something got spliced in there. Am I right? Dealing with Kamala Harris. But I tell you what, I'm going to go to bat for Officer Kamala today, because really, if you think about it, she's got a lot on her plate, and it's kind of unfair to expect so much from her, because they're sitting here asking her questions about inflation when she's over there in Europe trying to prevent World War III, right? If they keep shoving so much in her face, she'll blow it. But it wouldn't be the first time.
No, she's had issues before.
Taking that whole load on at once, it's too much to swallow.
I'm so glad I don't read the notes ahead of time.
Yeah, we best be getting on, I think that's enough. But if you're wondering to yourself, wait a minute, she's only the VP. Where's President Biden during all this? He's actually back home in the States dealing with an important societal ill. Biden addressed reporters just today about a new, quote, civil rights initiative to target those who would blackmail others by taking pictures or filming people without their consent. Take a look at this.
So we established a new civil rights cause of action for those whose intimate images were shared on the public screen. How many times have you heard, I'll bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line, that in an intimate relationship, what happened was the guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then literally, in a sense, blackmails or mortifies that person. Send it out, put it online.
Boy, we've all been there, haven't we?
Oh man, if I had a nickel.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in the future. It's current year. Everybody out there's got a cell phone, got a camera, and you got to be on your best behavior. You don't know when someone could be watching. But I tell you what, some rascal hitting you when you're down. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always catch you at your worst moment.
Yeah.
And then using those images to kind of take advantage of you. That has to be the most despicable thing that a person can do. I know this really hits close to home with the Biden family.
Oh. I see. Oh man.
There's been this thing I've been thinking a lot lately, which is if you don't want to have trouble with a thing, then don't do the thing. Mm-hmm. And you could use that turn of phrase a million times. Like, if you're Thaddeus Russell and you don't want to be accused of being pedophile apologist, don't apologize for pedophiles. If you're Hunter Biden and you don't want to be accused of being a Ukrainian puppet that is a crack smoker, then don't
do those things.
Don't do the things that you're doing. Like, I mean, it really, at the end of the day, is I'm not saying that it's right. Like, I'm not saying it's ethically right for you to, like, capture people in compromising positions. But for all the people who have ever been caught in a compromising position, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing here banging these Russian hookers with my crack pipe?
Yeah. A little introspection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we cut ourselves off from so much potential audience. You know what I'm saying? But we got to speak truth to power. We got to do it.
It's going to hit close to home for a lot of our friends.
Yeah, right. You know what, guys? We've got a great show for you planned tonight. Michael Boldin of the 10th Amendment Center is going to be our guest later this evening. Immediately following tonight's show is another episode of It's Way Too Late with Alan Mosley. Right after the conclusion of this show, we will be back with the meme of the week and the viewer mail right after this commercial break. Don't go away. You know,
Baseline though.
you know what we forgot to talk about in the monologue?
I know. I do. As soon as you said that, yeah.
But why didn't you tell me before?
I'd
God.
already jumped ahead in the notes.
All right, guys.
I scrolled down.
June 4th is the date for the It's Too Late fourth annual It's Too Late live show, hosted by yours truly, as well as David Mary of Liberty Late Night at the private Bonhoeffer Computer Club. That's south of Nashville, Tennessee. We're gonna have a ton of food. There's gonna be live entertainment. We're gonna do a live production of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. I mean, they're all live, but you're just not here, right? Like, I don't know if that's really a selling point. Like, oh, you're going to see a live show, and they're like, we see that every Wednesday?
It's going to be liver.
Yeah, it's going to be the most livest show you've ever seen in your goddamn life.
Yeah,
probably leave that part out of the marketing too.
Yeah,
It
won't be on the post.
We should talk about our marketing, I think, but not now. But just in general.
Marketing.
Speaking of marketing, let me tell you about tonight's sponsor, Packcrest Botanicals, which you can get at their website, which is packcrestbotanicals.com. Promo code, all one word, It's Too Late, for 30% off of your 30% off of your CBD products. Take a look at this. You've got everything. You've got topical ointments. You've got herbal teas. Of course, obviously, you've got CBD oils like Ascend here, and also the Blue Dream. Show people that. Can you?
Oh, this is always my favorite. I love this so much.
How close can it get to my eye before I lose my shit?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
That's how you do it. You drop it right into your
I think
eye.
I smelt some of it, and now I burn a little. You're not supposed to. You're not. This isn't an eye drop. Like I don't want you to labor under the misapprehension.
Maybe tempted.
Yeah. I tell you what, this has actually helped me a lot with my sleep schedule. Until daylight savings time, then it's just
nothing can help us now.
Yeah, we were discussing that right before the show started, but about something else entirely.
That line comes up a lot in the pre-show.
You got gummies, which I used to have gummies. My gummies are gone, but you can get gummies to help your sleep, help your energy levels. It's fantastic. That's packcrestbotanicals.com. Promo code It's Too Late for 30% off. 30. It's amazing. 30. It's ridiculous. Like most times it's like 5 or 10% off or whatever, or like free shipping. No. 30% off. You can't beat that crap. All right.
Incredible.
On that note, Dave.
Yes, Alan.
Well, I'm so glad you're here to answer when I... All right. Dave.
Yes, Alan.
What time is it?
It's time for Meme of the Week.
Wasn't this leaf green before?
I can shit without farting.
What?
But I can't fart without shitting.
What?
Wait a minute, that's backwards.
Wait, what? It's so good that our audience is probably inebriated by now, because they're not gonna remember. They've just glossed right over it. They're on to the next thing.
Ryan's confirmed. I just read the chat.
Yeah, there you go. But we do have a bonus meme. Check out the bonus meme. Oops, all war criminals.
Oh,
Look at Obama
all of
shooting a
them. There they are.
basketball. Send them all to The Hague. Yep. All right. After the first segment, I felt like this show was going to go pretty good, and now I'm back on the fence.
Yeah.
But it's episode 2.
We
It's episode 200 though, so it's kind of like there should be some extra like like
punch.
this is a milestone. These guys still do this dumb shit, you know. Speaking of dumb shit, let's answer some viewer mail.
What's that? Segue. Hey. Oh, this one.
It's part of the show where Alan answers questions from the same people. You got to get back.
How long could it go on?
Do you remember when I told people that the first person to go to the private community group and paste a copy of that text would get a free Amazon gift card? And then it was
I remember.
Then it was you.
It was.
I feel like that's kind of cheating. Like, because you're on the scene, and so here I am putting together a sweepstakes, and you're a part of the sweepstakes, like writing down.
Yeah, that's usually in the rules, that anyone.
Yeah.
Luckily, we don't have rules here.
Yeah, like employees and family members can't have the winning ticket. Yeah. All right. Anyway, Andrew Avery writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, if you were addicted to brake fluid, could you stop at any time?"
I don't know how addictive brake fluid is. I haven't really heard that.
I feel like people who drink brake fluid is exactly our target demographic on this show.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Have to reach them.
Yeah. Andrew, get some help. Celeste Annis writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what kind of bread do you prefer for toast, and what do you like to put on your toast?" I mean, I always just use white bread because white is right.
Oh.
Yeah.
That simplifies a lot of the decisions in your life, doesn't it?
I mean,
like you picking shampoo. Oh, a white bottle.
Yeah. And why would I pick the white bottle? Because white is
right.
Jeez. You know what? I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit trying to involve you in the show because it's just giving you opportunities to just whip sound effects out of nowhere. All right. What do you like to put on your toast, Dave?
I usually can't find it, but I really like this restaurant we had. It's called Texas Toast, so it's like yellow, it's thick. I don't know if there's a special thing for it, but it'd be like that stuff with strawberry jam.
Carl says marbled rye with butter and Mayer lemon marmalade. Jeez, like I don't want a $17 piece of toast. Jesus Christ! Have you seen prices at the grocery? That's my whole budget.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah. Brian Johnson writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?" I mean,
that's wow.
I'm gonna say all of them.
Yeah. Well, my brain started racing as soon as I heard that question. I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like I imagine the elephant like eating the chickens, then I think it would only be like one or two. It could get lodged in his throat and he's going down.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, do elephants would they even try to eat a chicken? Like,
yeah. But if you had to kill one chicken every single time you got into your car, or fight an elephant with a sword, which would you do?
Chickens. It's always the chickens.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. Go ahead and hit us with the ding again. The people who are fancying themselves a warrior that will take on anything other than a chicken in this scenario are full of shit. They really are. Suzanne Sherman writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, how'd you like that snowstorm?" It was like 75 degrees here on Thursday, and then it snowed that night.
Yeah, the weather's been crazy.
Yeah.
That's spring, though.
Is that where we're at on the show? We talk about the weather and then
Yeah.
yeah.
How about that rain last night?
After 200 episodes, it's just kind of like, you know.
That's the hard punching we're doing for episode 200.
Yeah.
How about that rain? It was
Yeah.
like out of nowhere.
Yeah. No one's ever going to be a guest on the show ever again. You know that, right?
The list is quickly dwindling.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, okay, just a quick meta comment. I said in the private community group, hey, give me some suggestions of some new guests you've never seen on the show before. And I basically got no suggestions. And it occurred to me, it's not because they don't want to see new guests. It's because they realize the people currently associated with the show are the only ones that would dare to do so. If you're not already ruined by having had your name and likeness on this program, you're not going to do that to yourself. That's stupid.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's slowly sinking in.
Yeah. All right, Kamala. Eric Eli writes, Dear Alan and Dave, what items are acceptable to throw at people still wearing masks? Now, the thing is, you shouldn't throw things at people. Things are valuable.
It's a NAP violation. Oh, yeah, that's why.
Oh yeah, NAP violation. That's right, Dave.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't something don't condone violence.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something. Love your neighbor. Personable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are all the emotes? We used to have people in the chat that would share emotes like personable and problematic, and now they just talk about what they're throwing at people, like D-size batteries. Do you see that over there?
Ooh, those are wicked.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. That it is true though that if you put some oranges in a sack and beat your wife with it, it won't leave marks. So just throwing that.
Is that true?
Find out. I don't know. Aaron,
right.
Aaron, our Twitch mod.
Gonna conduct an experiment.
Our Twitch mod, Aaron Kittner writes, Dear Alan and Dave, what is your favorite fast food chicken sandwich? Ooh, boy, we're gonna divide the community here. Dave, what is your favorite fast food chicken sandwich?
I don't usually go for a chicken sandwich. If it is, it's like something cheap, like a $1 menu, like Wendy's chicken sandwich. But my favorite would probably be obviously the Lord's Chicken.
Oh,
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Anna K's favorite is Chick-fil-A. So I'm kind of required to say Chick-fil-A, because if I say anything else, then I'll just be alone the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. Forever alone.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the announcement you were expecting on episode 200, was it? All right. No, we're fine. As long as the Chick-fil-A is in the basket, everyone's okay.
Yeah.
Adam Sakozin writes, Dear Alan and Dave, do you struggle with any anxiety pre-show? You know your audience loves you, but I personally worry about your public speaking, etc. Maybe the pre-show chaos is part of calming those jitters. I'm genuinely curious because you both are amazing at this. That's nice, isn't it?
Wow.
Isn't that nice? And for episode 200,
really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, we don't have any pre-show anxiety, do we?
No. No. What am I even doing here?
I don't know. I wish we had time to rehearse. I feel like if right now,
like it was a real job.
If right now we just cut the stream, start it over from the beginning, it'd probably be great.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Bolden wouldn't be back, but it would be great.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. He's over there somewhere, just hanging out, waiting on us. He's in the green room. Yeah. Adam, I don't know if anxiety is the word for it. More, my self-loathing overarches everything else, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get much anxiety, but a lot of panic. There's a lot of panic.
Gary Dykstra writes, Dear Alan and Dave, if you had to give up one of these beverages, which one would it be? Iced tea, soda, or beer? That's an easy one for me, but it seems very difficult for you.
Yeah, I don't. Does that not work? I don't drink a lot of iced tea. I don't want to drink soda, but it's way better than iced tea.
Yeah.
But for my health, I'd give up soda.
That's good. I like how for your health you're giving up soda, not the thing that's actually killing you right now.
Oh no, yeah, that was out
Yeah.
of the. I took that out of the equation.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
yeah, okay. I mean, I would take out beer because I literally don't drink beer, so it's like it's not even
Yeah,
a
wouldn't
challenge.
change your life.
Yeah. Um, there was an old quote by Walter Williams who's passed on now, but I mean he lived to be like 80 something years old, so it's not like he died young. And one of his famous quotes is that if you die with clean lungs, that means you didn't smoke enough. And if you die with a clean liver, that means you didn't drink enough. And if you die with a clean heart, that means you didn't eat enough cheeseburgers.
Oh,
And that's how
I like that.
yeah, that's how I live.
Just walking that line.
Yeah. Carl Huber writes, "Dear Carl, Jesus Christ. We still have to catch up with Carl. Like we're still running to catch up with Carl to this very day."
Yeah.
All right, anyway. Carl Huber writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, why is spicy the only flavor your asshole can taste?"
That's an incredible question.
It is a
Imagine if you could. Imagine if you could feel sour on the way out. That'd be just pucker.
I don't
Cascade
feel
is just-
comfortable dealing with questions that have the phrase asshole can taste in it. So I think we're going to move on. Jonathan Carranza writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, what is your favorite flavor of ramen?" Do you eat a lot of ramen? I know you're thinking about assholes. It's okay. Take a moment to compose yourself.
I kind of got lost in that last question. No, yeah, we have it in the house. We have just the the little dollar packs of top. I always say ramen just to piss everybody off. But yeah, they only eat chicken, so that's all we eat. I'll try them all. They're all kind of the same to me, just salty.
Okay, so chicken is basically the only one I would eat in college because I tried the beef. The beef just tastes like anthrax, and like I know that there's like a couple of other flavors, but the chicken was good.
Oriental shrimp.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So the answer is chicken, but I haven't had ramen in probably like 16 years, I bet. It's been a long time. Yeah. These are some retarded questions. Have you noticed that? All right.
Yeah.
Ryan Seifert writes, "Dear Alan and Dave." Yeah, just go ahead and buckle up. Ryan's question. What do you look forward to roasting by the fire most this spring? Marshmallows, bread, your brain, the bottom of your shoes, or your friends and family? I feel like Ryan has a weird concept of what the June 4th event's going to be like.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard some stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly from you. Kind of scares me.
Well, I mean, but you're behind the scenes. Like you don't have anything to worry about. But in the future, when we're at our trial at The Hague, they're going to be saying to you, just because it was your job, that's not an excuse.
I was just following orders.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. Lauderio writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, do the Ides of March give you pause?" No.
It took me forever to know what that means. I don't. Yeah.
I
don't really know.
actually took Latin back in school, and I still didn't give a shit what that meant.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I don't like March though. I don't like this month because it's the month of the year, especially in this part of the country, where during the day it's sunny and the inside of your car gets to 90 degrees, but then at night it's like freezing. And so you don't know how to deal with it. Like you go out in the morning with like a jacket.
Yep.
And then in the afternoon you're like, it's like the Sahara. I hate that.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, because like I go to work really early, and I'll wear like a jacket and a hat because it's chilly out, and I don't look at the news. And then I go out, and it's too cool for a t-shirt, but I can't wear the jacket anymore. The hat's out of the question.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Jeremy Hale writes, "Dear Alan and Dave, how many French toast sticks constitutes a bundle?" I don't know. Let's count them. Let's see what happens.
You got it? Okay. Got it? Yeah.
How many is that?
Whoa, that was a lot.
That is a lot. I feel like it
It's
shouldn't.
like 45.
I feel like it shouldn't be that many.
That does seem like a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got it.
But they don't let you. Never mind. Okay. And finally this evening, Marilyn Wilimowski writes, "Dear Alan and Dave,
Oh.
if you were traveling from New York City to LA tomorrow, what mode of transportation would you use? Plane, train, or automobile?" Y'all planning any trips, Dave?
Not that I know of.
Oh. Is Mary planning a trip?
That's the question.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
LA. Yuck.
I mean, Mary, if you've got access to like the family bank card, treat yourself. Go use a plane.
Mm.
If actually, in all seriousness, I would take a car because I mean, I'm not going to fly. I'm not going to go through TSA. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to do all that crap. And I mean, I guess like trains is basically the same, right? Like, isn't it basically the same on trains? So
I'd love to go cross country on a train.
See, I would too, but it's also shitty. So it's like you're doing something shitty for the experience, right?
Oh yeah. Maybe not all the way across the country. It might get old.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, I'm too old for that. I used to love road trips, and now it's like if I drive more than about 2.5 hours, I just give up. Just wherever I'm at, that's my new home.
This is where I live now.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Best be moving on. I want to remind people that at the conclusion of tonight's show, we're going to take like a 3-minute break, and then there's going to be an episode of It's Way Too Late with Alan Mosley, featuring a very special birthday boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But before we get to there, we're going to be right back after this commercial break with Michael Boldin of the 10th Amendment Center. Stick around. Your ad could be playing right now, reaching thousands of potential customers. Sadly, it's not, but it could be. Find out how to be an advertised sponsor for It's Too Late with Alan Mosley. Email us at info@alanmosley.tv. Do you have a drum set?
I do.
God,
right behind me.
You should play the breaks. You should come back from the commercial break and you should be there like Mike Max what's his face was on Conan O'Brien back in the day. Max Weinberg? Was that?
Weinberg.
Yeah.
Not,
all right.
Not head drum.
We're getting distracted. All right, let's bring it back in. Our guest this evening is the founder and executive director of the 10th Amendment Center, which you can find at their website right here. That's 10thamendmentcenter.com. Michael Boldin, welcome back to the show.
Episode 200, baby.
Episode 200. Mike, do you remember me asking you like a year or so, or maybe 2 years ago, hey, I should fly you out. You should come out for the live show. Well, it's live, so that we're halfway there.
Yeah, I tried to ignore this request as well, but somehow you corralled me. I've got in my notes a few things that I wanted to talk about. Are you down?
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding?
Okay.
I
want to talk about being part of the laptop class.
Okay. Go on.
A cross-country train ride.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we have to cover ramen, which I just had 3 days ago.
Okay, so for people who don't know, you're really missing out if you don't. Everyone, I know that our whole audience follows the 10th Amendment Center already, but some people might only follow the 10th Amendment Center and not follow at Michael Boldin, and so they don't see all of these just picturesque views of this exotic cuisine. This man eats, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
He knows how to dine. And so I know that you could probably teach me a thing or two about ramen. The only ramen I've ever had was the stuff you get in little packets off the store shelves when I was in college and made like 15 cents an hour. What are you talking about when you say ramen?
First, I think we should consider the idea of a cross-country train trip.
Okay.
Back when the whole TSA body scan protest started, I thought it would be really cool. I was speaking at the Liberty Forum in New Hampshire. This is the Free State Project annual event. It's not Pork Fest, which is more their party event. This is like their kind of indoor conference. They're kind of featured one every year. And I thought, I'm going to stick it to them. I'm going to take an Amtrak. And then I'm going to blog about it. I'm not going to have to go through the TSA. And of course, it was very easy at the time to get on a train. No one molested you. Pretty cool. Blah, blah, blah. I went with 2 other people, one being my lovely partner now of 18 years, Sarah, and she was game to go with us, thought it was going to be really fun, but it's a 70-hour trip, 70 hours.
Wow.
From Los Angeles to Boston.
Ooh.
You couldn't get all the way to New Hampshire. I got to visit my sister in Boston, and she did tell me as soon as I walked in, I guess this is the big problem with being on an Amtrak for the beautiful scenery across country, is that the body begins to smell really, really disgusting after a few dozen hours.
Yeah.
And by 70, it doesn't matter. No one wants to be anywhere close to you. I walked into her house in Boston. She says, hi to Sarah. I love you. Great to see you. But you're not touching anything until you get in the shower.
Wow. So
it was the last time that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also met my buddy who I had not seen. So I was posting about this on social, talking about how, I'm going to do this kind of beat the system kind of thing, right? And a buddy of mine that I hadn't heard from in a couple of years, he messages me and he says, oh, yeah, dude, I'm living in Chicago. You said you're doing I had to change trains in Chicago. I had a half of a day in Chicago. And he says, we should meet up, this guy, Teddy. And so we met up in downtown Chicago, and I'm like, dude, where have you been for the last 2-3 years? He's like, well, I didn't want to tell anybody. And I kind of been hiding, but I was desperate for a job, and I took a job as a supervisor with the TSA at O'Hare Airport.
Wow. It's funny that you mentioned that phrase in there. There's certain things that, I mean, at least if you're one of these assholes like me, who's like, you know what, I'm not wearing a mask.
And talking about smell.
Yeah, talking about the asshole taste.
70
yeah.
hours on a train, an asshole is going to be even worse.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have for tonight. Mike, thanks.
Thank you guys for joining me. Follow me at Michael Boldin on Twitter, and have a great night.
All right. So anyway, I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to go through TSA. I understand that there's people who they have to deal with those things because it's not practical to ride a train across the country every time they have to go somewhere.
It is not.
But you had that little turn of phrase in there of there's certain things that you just can't do anymore, or you don't get to do anymore. And this is something Anna Kay and I have talked about a lot very recently, which is, I mean, just a few years ago even we had talked about, we're going to get married. Where do you want to go on our honeymoon? What are some things we want to do? What are some things we want to do with our lives at this point in our lives before maybe we settle down somewhere more permanently? And now it's like so many of those types of plans have just gone totally out the window because she knows and loves me enough to know that there's certain things I'm just not going to do because I'm just not going to do it. And it's just such a shame because I feel like from a market standpoint, aren't there lots of people out there that are not doing things that they would have been doing, and how that ripples out endlessly, ways in which we'll never understand because people are choosing to opt out.
Here's an interesting example, and I don't know if this is a choice to opt out, but to me, and on a more serious note, one of the things that really pissed me off the most about the whole COVID scenario and the shutdowns, and I live in downtown Los Angeles in a neighborhood called Little Tokyo, which is the largest Japanese population in the country, so we can talk about ramen in a minute. And but we have had tons of little nice locally owned small business coffee shops in the neighborhood. 5 or 6 of them within 2 to 3 blocks. So you just stop in, you get to know the people who work there. I got to know a number of them around the neighborhood, and it's just kind of a nice atmosphere. You see artists, bike messengers, all kinds of stuff going on rather than your normal kind of chain location. But during this whole shutdown, none of these businesses could afford to stay open. And one by one, every single one of them went out of business. But I'll tell you who didn't go out of business is Starbucks. And there are literally 3 Starbucks, one in my building, one block from my building, and another one 2 blocks from my building. Those made it fine. It's the big corporate, the big money people. They talk about how inflation really is this horrible tax on the poor people, or taxing a firearm affects the people who need it the most. And so does the shutdown. The people who really, really, really needed it to be able to stay in business were put out of business, and the ones who could weather the storm were the corporate people, like the Targets, the Walmarts, the Starbucks, and stuff like that too. But that's a side note. Were we going to talk about ramen?
Yeah, we can talk about ramen. I was actually just going to say really quick, since you brought that up, is that, I mean, that really hits close home to me. I know you know this, that, my old producer Blake and I, we were managing a studio that we rented out for private events, and then we also would go out and do a lot of audio video stuff for events, concerts, things like that. In this part of the country, like in southern middle Tennessee, the initial lockdown didn't last very long, but it lasted long enough. And it hurt us. It's no longer there. The studio's gone. That business no longer is around, which was like 85% of my income. So thanks a lot, everybody. But the point being was, it wasn't just, oh, well, you're reopened now, so just go get all your customers back. It's not that simple, because not only
because business patterns of the market have changed. So once people stop doing stuff, they've changed their habits, they've changed their lifestyle, especially over a period. And I'm sure in Tennessee, like even 6 months can change market patterns. Here in Southern California, it is 2+ years for sure. And as people have adapted to how they do live their daily life, it's not like flipping a switch and all of a sudden it's like everybody goes back. No, more and more of those businesses will probably go under over time.
Yeah, exactly. I actually got interviewed for a music magazine, which is weird. I haven't been in the music scene for a long time, but the point of the interview is that I of course, obviously I lament what happened to us. It sucks, and you try to move on, but it wasn't just that. We had a calendar filled up with appointments with customers, having dates reserved all the way through to like June, July, August, and all those events are gone. Do those people reschedule?
Of 2020?
Back in 2020, yeah.
And just the cost, literally the cost of refunding, is quite a bit too. So like if your process for businesses that process a credit card, if you do $1,000 transaction, you've got a 3% fee. Who's paying that back? No one is. And now we're seeing how expensive those free stimmy checks are. With they say it's like 7-8%, but I was listening to a Peter Schiff podcast recently, and he talks about how, and I've heard this many times over the years, how they actually calculate the inflation rate differently than they used to, and they calculate the unemployment rate differently than they used to. If they use the same calculations that they did in, let's say, like 1985, or supposedly the last time it was this bad, or whenever it was, it's actually far worse than anything any of us have ever lived under. But they just kind of just changed the accounting, just like they changed definitions of words and stuff, and all of a sudden one war criminal can call the other war criminal, and then we only think there's one war criminal instead of all of them being war criminals.
Well, so it's a double whammy, because not only are individual customers not reorganizing to have these events that were taken off the schedule because they don't have any money, right? Because they're looking at their checkbook and they're looking at the economy thinking, oh God, I can't be spending a disposable income. I don't know what's going to happen next. But the worst part of it was, Michael, was we used to do a lot of business for local nonprofits and charity and benefit events and concerts. For example, the Relay for Life, they would do the marathons and stuff to raise money for like breast cancer and things
you
like
guys
that.
would do like the after party or something?
So we would facilitate, the speaking engagements, the audio. Sometimes they would have concerts and things. And the thing is that those weren't just canceled in 2020. They're gone. They're gone. The committees, because a lot of these big, you probably are fully aware of this, a lot of these national organizations have local volunteers who do all the stuff in the local area. The national group ain't sending a crew down to set up a Relay for Life in your county. Your county has to do it or it doesn't happen. And you know what? All those committees are gone and they're not coming back. And people can't even begin to reckon with that. It's gone.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see how distorted the market was forced to be or is forced to be still to this day for probably many more years. And of course, we'll just blame the greedy corporations or something like that. Let's talk about fun stuff.
Okay.
Though, right? Episode 200.
Yeah, it is episode 200.
I should have a special hat on or something.
Well, I had like 4 things in my notes that, I mean, they're not necessarily fun, but they're not necessarily super serious. But would you rather just get rid of that and talk about ramen? I mean, that's fine. It's whatever.
I mean, you said packaged ramen, and I'm thinking, man.
I've literally only ever had
I just had Hakata ramen.
What is that? What does that mean?
It's like a pork bone broth, or tonkatsu is a pretty standard. My favorite really is man, I can't think of the name of it. It's like this regional one, Tokushima style. It's like a 16-hour pork bone broth with like a deep soy sauce in it. It's so good. Packaged ramen is a total different story than actual Japanese ramen.
Just as a random side note, I think Dave and I are both kind of like on a weight loss challenge. We want to be less fat, disgusting pieces of shit. So you're really helping out.
Yeah, that's why ramen is so great. It's so filled with sodium that you feel like you're full, and you're really not, and then you just pass out.
Oh, okay.
Bloating, right? Yeah.
But what about like the people that have high blood pressure? Isn't that bad to have all that sodium?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm part of the laptop class. All I care about is me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I've always known that. Let me read you a tweet really quick, and I want to get your response on it. Almost 40 years ago, a certain senator from Delaware was the first to co-sponsor what became the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984, which established a federal asset forfeiture program called equitable sharing. Who on earth are they talking about?
Oh man, that's what is this tweet? Is it up on the screen?
Oh no, I already reported it for misinformation.
Nice. I was wondering why I was banned. Yeah, I was doing some research. I've done a lot of work for 10th Amendment Center on civil asset forfeiture. And so we cover, I mean, the short version, they basically charge property with a crime. They steal the stuff. And like Lysander Spooner warned, the government is like kind of like a highway robber. But this is really how they really do it. They charge property with a crime. You have to prove that the property wasn't used for criminal gain, and you almost never get it back. Or they make it so difficult that the average person can't get it back. But there's also a federal program called equitable sharing, and this is actually a tool. So as civil asset forfeiture has gotten a lot of opposition on both left and right, which is kind of a weird thing, but it does. And so a number of states have been reforming this. And the feds created their own program all the way back in the 80s. And every time I look into one of these old police state programs, I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I find Joe fucking Biden's name on this. This guy was the first co-sponsor of this Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984. Sure, it was signed by the great conservative Ronald Reagan, so he was garbage too. And it established this program that is that if the states restrict civil asset forfeiture or end it, saying you can only lose your property if we can prove that you gain that property through criminal activity. And then again, I'm opposed to that in many situations too, because a lot of the stuff they say is criminal shouldn't be on the books anyways, but that's a side discussion. So let's say a state restricts it. Then if the cops still want to steal your car or your boat or your house or your cash or whatever it may be, they just call up their buddy in the ATF or the DEA, their federal partners is what they call them. And they say, this seems to be a drug case and drugs are illegal on a federal level. So now this is a federal case. Do you guys want to take the lead on this? The ATF or the DEA will always take the lead. The local cops still do the investigative work. They still do most of the grunt work on the ground. The feds take the case. They prosecute it. They take the property. They run it through some processing. they keep 20% of the property and give 80% back to the local law enforcement. So it's really an end run around state restrictions on civil asset forfeiture. It's a way to nationalize local police, to give them incentives to do federal enforcement and run federal programs for the feds because they don't have the person power to pull it off on their own.
Hey, while you were running your mouth just now, Mike Meharry sent me a message that said, Boldin told me he's gracing you with an appearance. You should feel honored. He's not doing much in interviews these days. I think he's really happy you gave him the night off.
Who did I give the night off?
Oh, Meharry.
I did not, actually.
Oh, he's just doing something else.
I think you just busted him.
Okay.
Drama.
Yeah. So moving on to a related subject, I know that you were up in arms on Twitter recently talking about this Second Amendment sanctuary bill that recently got passed in the state of Wyoming. And you were mad because you said it's fake. It's bullshit. It's not actually going to, in effect, do anything.
Like almost all of them, yeah.
Well, hold on. I haven't really told my audience at any great length about this particular project I'm working on for some tin-pot think tank that wants me to work on their website.
We're going to do this in 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, right. And here's the thing. I keep on poring over all these different articles these jokers have written about all this different legislation. And there's a theme, which is every other bill is we're passing this bill because we're trying to get to the meat of it. This is going to set us up to really drive the point home. But then the update is, but then they passed this bill and the cop lobbies and the Republicans got their mittens on it, and now it doesn't actually do anything but look good for the re-election campaign. So what happened in the state of Wyoming, and why does this keep happening?
Well, Wyoming, there was 2 bills that were introduced this year. One called the Second Amendment Preservation Act, which was modeled after legislation that we backed for 8 years that finally got signed into law in Missouri this last year. It's such a good piece of legislation that the DOJ is suing the state to try to stop it. And actually, I don't think they're actually trying to stop it. They're suing the state to try to stop other states from copying them, because now what we're hearing is like, oh, well, we should wait to do this in Iowa, or we should wait to do this in West Virginia because we want to see how this lawsuit plays out. And it's a garbage lawsuit. It's really poorly done. But basically their complaint is, well, it's severing relationships between Missouri state and local law enforcement and the ATF. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, you're complaining about that? That means it's doing exactly what we've wanted it to do since day one. So this is a very positive thing happening in Missouri, restricting enforcement of federal gun control. The federal ATF has only 5,100-ish employees for the whole country. About a third of them are in administration. And so like their 3,500 or so enforcement agents can only close between 8,000 and 10,000 cases per year. That's 8,000 to 10,000 too many. But if you think about it this way, if there was like maybe 10 or 11 million short barreled shotguns that were unregistered, illegal according to the NFA, the National Firearms Act of 1934, there's zero chance the feds would be able to make a dent in that. So if the people resist in large scale and then the states opt out of enforcement or helping the feds enforce, that's how you nullify something in practice and effect. So there was a bill copying that filed in Wyoming last year. All 23 sheriffs in the state signed a letter opposing it. They did not want to be restricted from their ability to help the federal government go after the bad guys. So the same bill was filed this year, and then a watered down version of it that just says, hey, we're going to not enforce anything. We're going to stop you from enforcing things that are unconstitutional restrictions on the right to keep and bear arms. That's literally what it says in the legislation. In other words, stop doing what you're supposedly already not doing right now. So it's not going to have any impact. And of course, they choose to move forward with that piece of legislation. Unfortunately, our great friends at Gun Owners of America got all on board with that bill because I don't know. It's nice to see some gun groups get on board with 10th Amendment legislation that we've been working on for about a decade, but I don't think they actually grasp the strategy. So unfortunately, that bill is now to the governor's desk. And they've passed a Second Amendment Protection Act in Wyoming that the only thing it's going to do is protect the status quo. It'll allow full enforcement of federal gun control to continue in Wyoming. And we should know that last year, all 23 sheriffs opposed the bill because it was going to sever relationships with the ATF, just like is happening in Missouri today, because it's the same legislation. And this year, when they went with the different version, they all supported it. So that should tell us quite a bit. Law enforcement, as a general rule, anytime we find legislation that does something to advance liberty on surveillance, on policing, on the right to keep and bear arms, constitutional carry, it's the number one opponents are always law enforcement lobby groups. And so the problem is the thin blue line opposes all this stuff, but the thin blue line could oppose it all they wanted if the people weren't going to let them get away with it. And I think too many people are loyal to cops before they're loyal to liberty.
I know we're running out of time, so we're going to do a quick lightning round.
Oh, man.
Lightning round, are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. How many years have you been running the 10th Amendment Center now?
5.
That's not true. Come on. I thought it was...
No.
I thought it was like 30 at this point.
It's 2006.
All right. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far?
Talking to you.
Well, all right. Well, we'll badger Meharry to...
This is lightning. First thing that comes to my brain, out of my mouth.
You know, all the kids, they really like those YouTube videos where it's like they sit in the corner of the screen and they react to a video. Me and Meharry are going to do a react to your interview, and that's going to be the best one.
Nice.
Nice. What's something you would do differently in running the 10th Amendment Center in the last 15 years? What's something you would have done differently?
Not a single thing. It's perfect.
I believe you. I know that there might be others that are skeptical, but I believe you. And I believe that you believe that.
I don't believe it, but...
Okay. All right, we'll get you out of here on this one. If a smoothie is a pureed fruit made into a drink or a sludge, and it's mixed with a bunch of sugar and a bunch of crap, then is ketchup a smoothie?
Yes.
It is. Guys, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you know Michael Boldin is a real libertarian. Michael, where can people go to support the 10th Amendment Center?
10thamendmentcenter.com. I actually encourage 10thamendmentcenter.com/report for a very interesting free 148-page download that you don't have to leave your name, your email, nothing. Just download, read, learn how to do stuff, and about all the work that we're doing here.
Thank you so much. I love you, brother.
I love you too. You are the absolute best. Congrats on 200. This is amazing. Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you so much. This is why you were the perfect guest for tonight. And I know that I
was available.
God damn it. Would you quit just raining on my fucking parade while we're still live on air? Could you just once?
Oh, wait, are we still on?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. No, you're the best, Alan. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be able to share my thoughts with you. I appreciate your wisdom and stuff.
Yeah. Just for folks at home, the moment we go to commercial break, he's going to hang up the call. I'm not even going to see or talk to this guy for like a year, because that's about how long it was from the last one that we did. Guys, Michael Boldin, thank you so much. Guys, we're going to be back to wrap up the show right after this commercial break. Don't go away. Oh. If you're enjoying tonight's show, consider supporting the program by becoming a member of our Patreon. That's over at patreon.com/Alan Mosley. Yeah. Do you want to just go ahead and read the social media segment since you're still here during the live show? You can follow me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/AlanMosleyTV. Subscribe to our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/AlanMosleyTV. I lied, everyone. I said Michael Boldin was going to hang up, but he's still here. But since you're here for the credits, I want you to tell you that we're now on Odyssey. That's odyssey.com. It's Slate with Alan Mosley, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. That's thanks to Anchor FM. That's Anchor FM/AlanMosleyTV. Michael Boldin, do you have a final thought?
I love you all. Oh.
Yeah, that's you, Dave. Yeah, we didn't set Michael up in this segment because we didn't think he was still going to be here. He's stalking us now. He's stalking us.
I could be Dave. I'm just going to keep calling in.
Okay, that's fine. Have you? Every now and then, this is one of the beautiful things about doing a show like this is that now on my Skype I have this long list of contacts of people that are these wonderful, intelligent, professional folks that if I didn't do a show like this, I wouldn't have their private contact information on my Skype. And I got to tell you, every now and then when we jump on to do a show, me and Dave, I think to myself, I should just call someone, just see what happens. I'll just call Tom Woods right now and see if he answers, and if so, what's he gonna say?
Yeah. We should make a segment.
Yeah. Oh, that should be a weekly segment. We'll just pick somebody who's online. Yeah, we'll just call someone who says they're online, and we'll see if they answer.
Can we order food?
I mean, if they want. They'd have to answer. They have to pick up, though.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Jesus fucking Christ. In chat, they're actually telling me in chat to not do this because that's a fantastic way to get blocked. But it'll have been worth it, though. Yeah.
Oh, to actually make the calls?
Yeah. Like right now, I could just while I mean we're running the credits, the music's playing us out. I should just pull up Skype and just let me just see who's on. Let's go check it out. We'll just see who's
Only
on.
boomers are on Skype.
We could call Kyle Anzalone from the Libertarian Institute and Will Porter. They're
Kyle
on.
uses Skype?
Brian Kaplan's on.
Are these people who just use Skype because they're like, man, okay, I'll re-download it because Alan wants to interview me, like I just did tonight?
I've been trying to get him off.
Who's Alan? Who the fuck is Alan? Jesus Christ, where are you from? Actually, I want to correct people. Someone in chat wanted you to say the words Dodge Charger because they think you're from Boston, but you're not from Boston. You're from Wisconsin.
Dodge Charger?
Yeah.
From Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. We're going for the Packers.
No,
that's how I grew up.
The Rams just won the Super Bowl. I know you were there. You and Gavin Newsom and Magic Johnson, you were all there watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it made traffic kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Not that I drive anywhere or go anywhere beyond like a 4-block radius.
Yeah. So I'm like that too, but I live in the sticks as opposed to LA.
Are the blocks just much larger?
I mean, kinda, but you can, you hear banjos out in the woods and people trying to give you meth. It's a totally different dynamic than Chinatown, I think.
Sounds racy. You mean Little Tokyo?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Little Tokyo. What? They're all the same to me. Jesus. Did you not hear us talking about white being right earlier in the show?
So I'm at this sushi spot this week in the neighborhood. It's in Little Tokyo. I'm getting sushi. It's a Japanese food.
Mm-hmm.
And I leave. I'm taking my takeout, and I said arigato, which is, kind of a courtesy thank you in Japanese. And I probably don't say it well. But I forget that a lot of the Japanese restaurants are owned by Koreans. So was that technically racist? Because the guy did not respond, and he looked a little irritated.
Well, see, this is where it gets into intent, right? Like if you weren't intending to be racist and you genuinely didn't know any better, is it racist?
No, it's no longer about intent.
Okay, because
about what somebody else says your intent was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I mean, you couldn't go to a court of law for a crime and say what your intent was, right? You either broke the law or you didn't. So
I'm trying to avoid courts of law, though I got a jury summons.
I saw that. What? I didn't see an update though.
Notice of failure to respond. Are we still on?
I mean, we're still on, but they can't see you. We're way over time now. Thanks, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, we love you all. Bye. I'm gonna go order some food.
Okay.
Congrats on 200 for real. That's pretty amazing. Most people really. What's cool is that most people they try to come in hot.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily go the way they want real fast,
mm-hmm.
and they bail. And you're still doing it.
Yeah, it hasn't gone the way I've wanted for 4.5 years, and I'm still doing it.
It never does.
Yeah.
Nothing ever does.
Yeah.
But if you like what you're doing, and you're doing it because you have fun, you love doing it, and
mm-hmm.
sometimes it sucks, and sometimes you hate doing it,
mm-hmm.
that's what makes it awesome to me.
Well, see, that's why I quit doing the gold standard and start doing It's Too Late. The gold standard was, we're gonna sit
This
here.
is much more fun.
Yeah, this is more fun. But you know what I've found is that libertarians don't like fun. They just want to be miserable and talk about price gouging.
Yeah, or some kind of business cycle. Or...
Yeah, exactly. I try to bring
boring.
I try to bring people on here and try to actually, you know what? This is a perfect. I'm not going to name any names, but there's certain people that haven't been back on the show since we switched over to It's Too Late, and it's not because I don't respect them and admire their contributions. It's because I think they'd be a shitty guest.
Paul?
No, Ron Paul's great. But
he hasn't been back on since you switched.
He hasn't been back on, but you know, I had him on the show. I'm so grateful that he did it, but I have such reverence for him that I feel like, yeah, I'm just going to leave him alone. Like, let him enjoy.
But he hasn't been on It's Too Late.
He hasn't been on It's Too Late, I know. But do you think
so he's not been on the show?
Do you think Ron Paul would be a good guest for It's Too Late though? Like if I ask him if
did you see him on Leno? The dude is amazing on late night shows.
I'm not gonna name the guy's name, but there's a guy who's the president of the Mises Institute who I tried to have back on the show, and I asked him the question.
We'll call him Jeff D.
Yes. No, Jeff D is too
Simpsons reference.
That's too obvious. Let's call him Jay Diced. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, I'm glad you get the reference.
Yeah. I asked him the question of if you have two lasagnas and you stack one lasagna on top of the other, is it still two lasagnas or is it just
No, it's one. It's one giant.
Well, exactly.
Lasagna.
You understand that. He lost his shit and the haul was over.
The reason I get some of these questions right is because I've heard you actually say them
Jesus
before.
Christ.
And I'm just trying to kiss up to the host, to be honest.
You've actually seen some of this godforsaken show? Good God.
I mean, you tweet so much. Every now and then I gotta click something.
I tweet so much. I tweet like once a week. People constantly say I don't tweet enough.
Well, I don't really have too many people that I actually look at their tweets. Heading to Scott Horton's house. There's Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
All
amazing.
Right. Yeah. This went okay, I think. Other than us being 6 minutes and 41 seconds over, and the credits already haven't ended, and us still just sitting here in a silence. Other than that,
do you actually have to stop? Do you have to stop this stream to start the next show?
We don't actually have to stop this stream. Like when I'm done, we still have to run the credits, and then when the credits are over, we're gonna go to another little countdown timer. Like you do a countdown timer before you start Path to Liberty. We're going to actually start a 3-minute countdown timer where me and Dave are going to go take off all of our clothes.
Oh yeah.
And then,
the best part.
Yeah. And then put on shorts and t-shirts and then come back and do the after party. Yeah. You're missing all the fun.
I only caught up to you guys were taking your pants off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I get lost.
we don't take our pants off. I don't wear pants when I do this show. Are you kidding? It's been a long time since I wore pants during this show. A long time.
Cheeks on leather, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys rule. Seriously, thanks for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
Seriously, congrats on 200. Seriously, pretty cool.
Thank you so much. I will speak
Nice
to you
meeting you,
again next March
Likewise.
about being back on the show.
Episode 400. I'm in.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, buddy. I love you.
Peace, brothers.
See ya.
Love you too. Bye.
Dave, take us to the credits. We got to get out of here.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Later. In silence.
Yeah.
Just silent credits.
I know. There's no music. What the fuck? What are we going to do?
I don't know. Grab your guitar.
I could grab my guitar.
We can just say doo-doo.
Did Boldin hang up?
Yeah, he's
Okay. We got to go change clothes. But after...
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, the credits have to roll, and then I'm going to click the button to go to the intro scene for the next show, and then we have to... Yeah.
I'm just going to get started now.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Warmed up.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy without music.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Ominous.
Where am I? Why am I all the way down there? What the hell? I don't know. Let's go to monologue. Yeah. Now we're hearing a bunch of shit. Jesus Christ!
Everything's Ladies and gentlemen, it's way too late for Alan.
Yeah,
Mosley.
Jesus Christ. We should turn those buttons off, I think, when we leave the monologue. You know?
I usually try to.
Well, what did we learn tonight?
We should start every show like that.
It's just... Hey, here we go. Hold on.
Just
Wait, hold on. Just just turn on...
It's like... It'd be like the beginning of the Eric Andre show.
What we'll do. Oh, some people some streamers on Twitch do that, where you have the little channel points. People can redeem channel points, and you'll have something. We should have channel points for just hit buttons. Just you turn in channel points, and buttons just get hit.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like they produce the show, right? Like
I'm going to seriously look into that because I feel like that'd be right at home on Liberty Late Night.
Yeah. That actually.
Sorry, I'm late.
That does sound cool. Wait, did I just hear Mary?
I have a bunch of kind of stuff in my hands here.
Whoa, what? What happened?
Oh, I see.
Oh, are we? I didn't put you in your favorite position.
Hi, Alan.
Hey, Mary.
Sorry, I was a couple minutes late.
Oh wait, no, it's this way.
What the hell's going on? Why are you having to change things now when we just did the thing?
Oh, because I'm hitting the total wrong. I'm on the wrong scene. We're in monologue.
Yeah. It's over, dude. Let's just cut stream. I think let's just cut our losses. Hey.
There we go. I'm actually you can't see what I'm doing behind the scenes here, but I'm getting better at taking over your screen there.
Mm.
Sorry, I have to send a message to somebody real quick. I apologize. Hi, did you bring down the beer?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Why is it? Okay. Oh, there you go. I was worried for a second because for some reason on my screen I only see half of Mary's face.
Oh yeah, that's because
I'm usually center screen.
Dave, he was pushing me out of the way here.
Oh.
I just have to.
Yeah. Typical. Gotta be the center of attention. Look at me, it's my birthday.
Look at me, oh, tomorrow's my big day.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you took the day off.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm getting to the point where even though my whole birthday's a party in this city where everybody goes nuts, I'm just I'm too old for this. I don't care anymore.
But we don't have to go out. It's going to be a really nice day tomorrow. We can stay home and do stuff around here.
And Arco Zero says Boldin not leaving was my favorite thing about tonight's show. Same. Same.
It did. It was great.
Yeah. He's still here right now. He just ran to the bathroom. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry I missed a lot. I was dealing with, upstairs.
Dealing with upstairs.
Chaos.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happens. So, but it's all good.
Yeah.
I didn't get. Oh, go ahead. Your show.
Let Alan talk so I can pour my beer.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. Jesus Christ.
Well, it takes up both my hands, and then I can't produce.
That was, the thing is that so with tonight having been episode 200, that if we had kept the event on the 50th episode, the event would have been this weekend. It would have been like Saturday.
This weekend.
But we moved it to June.
That's wild. I kind of thought about that when I saw it's the 200th episode viewer mail post.
This would have been good weather for it.
I was like, oh man, holy moly, we would have been traveling down.
Mm-hmm.
How's the humidity right now? What's the temperatures like down there?
Well, actually, this would have been bad because during the week is nice, but we're actually having a cold front come back in on Saturday, and on Saturday, Saturday at night, it's going to be back down to like 30 degrees. So we wouldn't have been wanting to have an outdoor show this Saturday night. So instead of doing that, we're going to do it June 4th, where it'll be 90, 95, something like that.
So instead of freezing our asses off, we're going to sweat our asses off.
Yeah. But
I got to be a lot less fat to deal with that.
Yeah. Actually, we have a lot of things that we have to discuss internally before June 4th gets here. Like, not just about the physical production of the show live, on a stage, out in front of the studio, in front of a field of people, but things like, are you and I going to wear our suits and ties for the show? Because it's going to be hot.
In pajama bottoms?
Yeah, but yes, shorts. But pajama bottoms. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. I could see it, but yeah, the heat.
Well, because obviously we wouldn't be dressed like that for the whole day. It would be either we run in to change for just the show, like right at showtime, or we don't, or we just wear shorts and t-shirts to the show. It's one or the other. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like part of me is like, oh, just dress like this, just wear a t-shirt. But it's like, but that's not. It's too late though, right? Like,
yeah. I think I could handle like an hour of just wallowing in my own sweat, you know, just to keep up the image of the show.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody in the chat. I just want to say hi real quick.
Yeah, say hi to them.
No, don't say hi to them. Some of them have been problematic tonight. I wasn't paying too close attention to the chat while we were talking to Michael, but every now and then my eyes would dart over while the camera was on Boldin, and I would see some troubling commentary.
Well, you can't always look at the comments when you're interviewing someone, because then you get, at least my brain can't, multitask like it used to.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at the person I'm talking to, and then I look over at the chat, and next thing I know, I'm totally gone with my next question.
The biggest mistake that I made tonight was, I forgot that Michael Boldin is not just any old guest. So normally for a guest, I've got my little not a big long list of questions, but just some conversation pieces, just some things to kind of get us started. But you don't ever need that with Michael fucking Boldin. He's just going to talk about whatever the fuck he wants to talk about and just sort of get right with it.
Fun.
Yeah.
Get right.
Yeah.
That's kind of how Scott Horton, when he came on.
Yeah.
It was like
he's going to do what he's going to do.
He talked about all the things he wanted to talk about. And then I was like, all right, so what's your favorite color? No, I'm kidding. I didn't ask that.
But then we could talk.
Yeah. But what is his favorite color,
great.
though?
Yeah.
I don't think we got that.
We did not ask that. No,
no.
But he likes Beastie Boys, and that's awesome. Like he looks like he likes Beastie Boys, Just I could feel it. I knew he was going to say it.
Yeah.
Thanks, please, comma. We appreciate all of you so much.
Yeah. Well, I did acknowledge please, comma, I think. I don't know if I acknowledged everyone. Ryan, just stop. Ryan's trying to cause problems. It's ramen. It's just there's some people who say Raymond. Because
no, Dave says Raymond.
Yeah.
Jokingly.
Jokingly, yeah.
I don't know anymore now. He's been saying it for so long. I'm like, hey, maybe that is how you like he says it that way.
Double click. I've always said it like that until I started having a show where people correct me, and then I just double down and think it's funny.
Double down.
Yeah.
Because Boldin just decided to just camp out and destroy our credits. I didn't even ask you, Dave, what your final thought was. I didn't get a chance to because there was an interloper.
Well, that was fine. It actually, it took the pressure off me. So we got his final thought.
Yeah.
It was a good show. I was really excited that I feel like I did an okay job. Like I was afraid that, when somebody gets talking for too long and my brain starts to drift off to other screens, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to produce this thing and who's actually on scene. And I think I did all right. So I think it also helped that I wasn't drinking during this one. So it's like a benefit, but I don't feel as personable.
Very nervous by your elbow.
I felt like every segment got progressively worse. So the monologue was great. Then the meme of the week was decent. Yeah. And then the guest was okay. And then the credits were terrible.
Whoa.
I thought it was good.
Really? Yeah. I mean, like...
In production value, the monologue was perfect. There was no issues with audio or video. Everything queued up really nice. And then we went to desk 1 and it got a little, Carl, it got a little unsettled there with the assholes and the ramen and everything else. And then the guest comes on and Boldin's just doing what, of course, he's just going to do whatever the fuck he wants. And then finally in the finale, it's just fucking chaos. It's just, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the show wasn't entertaining. It's that the production of the show kind of just
the tightness.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't Dave in charge of?
Yeah.
Isn't David in charge of production?
Well,
we got a little loosey goosey at the end there.
If by in charge you mean he actually has the buttons at his disposal, the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you mean that he actually uses the buttons, then not really.
Oh.
I'm
learning. I pulled this one out quite a bit.
I did enjoy that quite a bit. Yes, that was good.
Okay.
See, this is. By the way, I love Michael Boldin, and one of the many reasons why I love Michael Boldin is that, for one, for some weird reason, he actually keeps up with us in the show. It's like he was prepared. He knows the answers to the quiz questions and stuff like that. But I'm gonna, like, this is a quick meta comment. Do I sit here and expect everyone we've ever had on the show to, like, watch the show? Of course I don't. I've been on shows before where I don't sit here and subscribe to their feed and watch all their stuff. Of course not. However, if you were going to be a guest on that show like that week, like you're going to be the guest tonight, you would think at least earlier that day you would just kind of tune in just to kind of get a feel, of what you're going into and what to expect. Let me tell you something, folks. I can tell which guests are informed of what they're getting involved in, and I can also tell which guests have clearly done no research whatsoever into what this show is and are totally blindsided and then kind of react a little bit standoffish. I'm not going to name any names, but I can tell the difference. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. It's like, wait, you're going to bring me on right after you talk about Kamala handling the full load?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a lot to swallow.
Oh.
The monologue was great.
I appreciate that.
Fuck you guys. The monologue was fantastic. Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out because I was dealing with stuff. So
Dan is an interesting fan.
Yeah.
The first time I saw this was the first live show.
Yeah. He saw the gold standard because he was physically in the room. That was the first time he happened upon the gold standard in real life. That's how he saw it.
Is that like what happens in like LA if you're just like wandering the streets and they're filming like a sitcom? They'll be like, hey, you want to see a show? We need people to sit in the crowd and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how Dan became a fan of the show.
Yeah. And then Dan came back for our episode 100, and at the end I wanted to get everyone involved with the show up on stage. For the kind of like, how like at the end of Saturday Night Live, they always have the whole cast right there and they're like, say goodnight, everybody. So we did that. But we needed someone needed to hit the button that just like goes to credits. Like that's all they have to do is just hit the button to go to credits. The scene's going to be on. Everyone's going to be on stage. Someone needs to hit the button, go to credits. And so I go, I know who I'll get. I'll get Daniel Blanchett because he's produced a show before. So we'll get Blake and me and the band and Sherry. Everybody's going to be on stage, but we'll get Dan. Like, Dan, here's the button that says credits. Just right here, this button says credits. Hit this button when I say goodnight. He failed.
Oh no. Did he push the wrong?
That's why. Yeah, that happened. There he is. That's him at the thing.
Did he push the wrong button?
He just didn't do anything.
Push the button at all.
Just
you act like it was an accident.
He's just kind of like he was also watching the show and he's like, man, why are they just standing there waving? That's weird.
How long is this gonna go on?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And thanks for the catching the echo in the chat. I totally missed it. You must have already fixed it.
Yeah, I fixed it because somebody had to,
Yeah, I hadn't looked at the chat in a minute, and so I changed my setup now because I used to have my screen here and then the Skype here and then control over here. I brought chat like front and center, so you guys are gonna be like, I'm gonna have my attention on that, so I can catch that a lot quicker than I didn't.
How many screens do you use?
3.
Oh, you've got 3.
I need a 4th one.
You've got 3,
Yeah.
and you want a 4th one.
Yeah, yeah, they are packed right now.
I just got
it's
my
all over the
second.
place.
Like I just now got.
How do you even survive?
Because everything has a place and everything's where it belongs.
Okay, yeah, mine's chaos.
He needs a 4th screen to just throw shit onto. Like,
The thing is that I mentioned this the other night when we were just like dicking around on the video game. Is that we're just progressively getting less and less subscribers, and we haven't even gotten an actual in-kind donation in like 2 weeks now. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
So we're back down.
You got all their money.
Yeah.
You have all their money.
This is it. This is all the libertarian movement money, all in one place. What you're seeing now, this is it.
So here's my 3 screens.
Okay.
This is,
Yeah.
that's your screen.
Okay.
And then this is my auxiliary everything screen. This is my main screen with you in the chat.
Yeah. Are those the show notes?
And still not enough. Yeah, over here. Over here.
Wow.
Yep.
Good.
But that's all crowded up. I got like 4 different things.
Yeah. Well, good on you for having the show notes.
Yeah. I that's why I think I did better today. Let me get back to the producer studio. There we go.
All right.
That's why I think I did better today because I'm like reading along as you're talking. I'm like, oh, it's coming up where I hit my button.
So
he's gonna say the
notes
words. Yeah, I think that's why he sends them.
remember how I said we were 1 subscriber away from having another Twitch emote? Now we're back down to needing 3 because we didn't get one. We didn't get the subscribers, so now we're back down. We need 3 subscribers to get a new Twitch emote.
Well, we should do some more gaming and lose some more subscribers.
Yeah, right. So Mary,
Keep going in the
I just
wrong
want to say hi,
direction.
Celeste.
Mary, we did that whole night of running around playing that video game on Twitch, on the platform where you're supposed to play video games. And at the end of like
Right.
4.5 hours of gaming, we were at -2 subscribers.
No. Oh my god.
I thought it was a lot of fun to play. I hope some people enjoyed, watching us play, but that was a really good time. I can't believe it was 4 hours. Like when I looked at the clock at the end, I was genuinely like not just surprised, but a little panicked. Like I have to get up in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's how gaming.
Yeah. So Mary, or what was the verdict on Minecraft? Did Dave tell you can't play or you can play?
Oh, did we?
I haven't revisited that with him
as
of last night. I think he was saying no, right on the stream.
Yeah, it's kind of like I kind of want it to be the dynamic of Alan, bumbling through, which I'm sure he's going to do fine, and me just telling him what to do. And
so like roles reversed as in the show.
Yeah,
like
where I get to yell at him.
Yeah.
Like, Alan, what are you doing? You've been hitting that tree with a
Come over here, we're fucking fishing. Yeah.
Craft an axe.
Yeah.
It's okay. Someday we can play together, Alan.
All right.
Someday Dave will let us play together.
No one thinks Dave is the one who makes decisions. Yeah, Mary hasn't told me what I've decided on that yet.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I thought Vermintide was fun. I thought everyone enjoyed it, other than the fact that we like lost money on the show. I thought people enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, like what Michael said, it's like you got to love what you're doing, and you're gonna fail.
Yeah,
forward,
yeah,
right?
but he was fucking lying. He wasn't.
Oh, he's just doing those platitudes.
Yeah, he was bullshitting us. Do you think that guy would still be running the 10th Amendment Center after like 17 fucking years if it just because he loved it and he wasn't making anything? Are you kidding me right now? Come on.
I thought he said 5 years.
No, he opened it.
Oh, that was
the whole segment, Dave. The whole segment was bullshit. That's why I was saying the show went downhill. The whole segment was bullshit. He opened it in like 2006.
Well, in the moment, I was like, yeah, that was like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The 90s were just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I saw somewhere somebody recently made some boomer meme post talking about how like 2050 is closer than like
somebody did that.
than like 1990 whatever, and I was like, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that you say the kill yourself, because it makes me think of Jane when she's playing Roblox with her friend.
This is a great story, actually.
And so Jane's 7 and her friend
Cute little
is
girl.
10. Yeah. And they're just playing Roblox together. And one of the things is to reset your character, or oof, which means that you die. But Jane's like, kill yourself, Adelaide, kill yourself.
Sounds like she's internet bullying in the cutest voice.
Yeah, it was so, and I was like, Jane, maybe say like reset your character or like oof or something.
All that tells me is that she's
the cutest little voice.
Yeah, she's been watching a lot of It's Too Late with Alan Mosley when you guys aren't looking.
I think so. Yeah. When she takes her tablet upstairs, I'm pretty sure she's logging on.
Yeah,
and
she's a subscriber.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Well, see, now you know why you've lost your subscription on your Twitch, is that she's subscribing.
She took it. Yeah, there you go. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave. So tomorrow's Dave's birthday. It's the big 4-3 for this guy over here.
Ooh.
And I really I wanted to.
This is taking forever.
You had mentioned about finding like baby pictures of him and stuff, and I know we have them on a computer somewhere, but
they're down here too. I have a full backup of the upstairs computer on that drive sitting on top of there.
Okay, but it's not connected. Oh wait, no, it is connected. Oh, why couldn't I access it then?
No, you should be able to the actual drive is upstairs. This is just a copy.
I couldn't find it. We have a whole slideshow that we did for our wedding.
My filing system isn't exactly,
Can you imagine
it's
that,
not
Alan?
the Dewey Decimal System.
His filing system is not
very organized.
Not very organized. So we have to click junk drawer to.
Because every once in a while there's so much on the desktop. I just take everything and dump it in there, and then I take it again and dump it in there.
Mm-hmm. So it's like click junk drawer to go to
the original My Documents folder where you'll have
to the everything folder to the
everything folder. I do have a couple everything.
I had to ask Davey. I'm like, how do I find the pictures? I don't know. And
and Davey's cruising around in there, and one of these days he's gonna something you don't want to see.
Yeah, because
quick click to the left.
Yeah, Dave just dumps all the pictures, and I'm like, we should really go in and clean up some of those photos just to make sure.
They're not bad. They're just like
I don't know.
Yeah, some of them.
I don't know, Dave. Anyway,
I feel like.
Is Alan still here?
No, I mean I wasn't listening, but this is the thing. What I feel like since Dave spends all this time of his like setting up to produce the show, like either for your Tuesday night or your Friday night, you need to install Tight VNC. I'll log in, and I will see just the monumental fucking chaos that is Liberty Late Night. And but you guys just perform. You're on stage. You just do the show. And
that'd be neat.
And I'll just be sitting here just
like, what does this even mean?
Because that's how I'm gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna produce your show.
Scene 1, scene like 2, that. Scene 3, nothing's labeled.
Yeah.
Nothing's labeled.
Yeah.
Source 1. What is Source 1?
Yeah.
Yes, Celeste, keep those pictures away from the children. I think I did jokingly say that, Ryan. Like someday you're gonna see your dad's house or something.
We warned him a little bit. It's like don't dig around too much, dude.
Yeah, don't be looking in all the. And also, happy birthday to your mom, Gibbs. Yes, tomorrow's her birthday.
Oh, we share birthday.
And Ryan says you need to reset your character because you're 43. So I went to the doctor today just for a regular physical.
This was fun to talk about today.
Because I take medicine and they need to see me like once a year, and I missed last year. So I went in, and he's such a great guy. Dave goes to him too, and we're always like spend an hour, like we just chat, hang out, such a nice guy. And I said, oh, Dave's birthday's tomorrow, because I had a green shirt on, and he's like, oh yeah, tomorrow's St. Patty's Day. And I said, oh, Dave's going to be 43. And he jokingly said like, oh, you guys are getting old, and he's like, I'm 46. And I was like, oh yeah. And he's like, yeah, that rounds up to 50. Like, oh yeah, that does. But he's so funny because he's like, you see a 46-year-old in the obituaries and you think, oh, he had a good run. It's like, No, you don't.
That's what I said. It's like our doctor looks at like dying at 46 says, you did pretty good. So now when he tells me like, I'm like, I drink quite a bit. And he's like, I'm sure it's fine. Like, because to him, I look pretty good for a fully matured 42-year-old. Like, you're still in pretty good shape, buddy.
You got at least a good 8 years to go.
Live in old age.
Oh gosh.
I feel like the doctor you went to is very similar to the doctor that I went to.
Oh yeah, we talked.
Yeah.
No, he's so much fun.
Yeah.
He'd be fun to hang out with, like.
Almost went through colonoscopy.
Oh boy.
Ryan is. I feel like you need to make sure you're going to a doctor that's in your network and not just someone who says that they'll perform it.
Just someone.
Yeah.
He told me to take down my pants.
See, this is exactly why I wasn't paying any attention to chat when we had our guest on. This is because I was every now and then looking over and seeing things like that and thinking, I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to work that into the conversation. We'll probably just set that one up. Yeah.
Well, you've heard the one where Ryan said, who was it when we were interviewing McAfee or somebody else? But Ryan said, smile, Dave, smile if you want to change my colonoscopy bag.
Colostomy
bag. Colonoscopy. I'm reading colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Colostomy bag.
Yeah, and to be like talking seriously to somebody and glance over and just have that thought in your head.
Yeah.
Try not to smile.
You can't help. Yeah, you try not to smile at that.
And then I'm like, wait, are we going to meet Ryan and he actually has one? And I don't, I don't know. Like,
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
One? I don't think he did. You don't have one, right?
I don't. So that all makes sense with the one exception of I don't see the problem with not smiling if you don't want to. That is a skill that I have in spades.
How often do you want to?
But have you ever had that moment where you're like in church or something, or you're at a funeral, and then you're just like,
oh, a funeral.
You think of somebody saying something like, funny, and you shouldn't laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always the most inappropriate time you get the giggles.
Yeah. Alan's never smiled.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Mary just asked me, have you ever had this moment in church? That was a real question she asked me just now.
I know. Yeah. I know.
Do you want him to burst into flames?
When you have some kind of moment where you need to be serious, you're going to think of that question that I just asked.
More than likely, it's not going to be church. It's going to be court.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, they're talking about what you did. Don't smile. Okay. Don't laugh. Now is not that time to laugh.
Mary mentioned me being in church one time.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never this is the thing is that I've always had that skill of being able to just and then it's off. Yeah. Just turn it off.
Why are you hovering over home movies?
Those are actual home movies from when I was
little. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna watch some home movies. That's nice.
No.
Oh, we're not.
Actually, hilarious though. You can't.
I'd have to build a scene.
Huh?
What do we got? We got bear caves. Oh, those would be great.
It's little Dave and his dad lugging around one of those old camcorders. You can't do it, Dave. You can't do it here. Okay. I don't know.
How do I pause this?
Little John and your mom.
Let me see.
Dave's gonna make you guys watch.
I don't think I can pull this. I've tried to bringing a video into a scene and I had problems with it.
Smiling is a scam by Big Toothpaste. That's correct, Ryan. That's right.
I saw a thing for yesterday or on Monday for Pi Day. And it was like Pi Day is just a scam by mathematicians to sell more maths or something. It just made me laugh because Dave's always saying that about every made up holiday.
Like big sneaker selling white sneakers. It's like that's the worst.
What?
You're just gonna ruin them. What is this? I can't even find it.
All right, finish that beer.
Any smilers in chat?
I smile.
I'm just testing to see how much of our audience is Twitch savvy versus how many of them are boomers. Lyle is somewhere on the fence. So don't know about Lyle. Lyle's.
Oh, lights out soon in Mississippi. Good night, Lyle. I'm glad you were here to hang out.
Oh, they have a lights out time where they just shut everything down?
Yeah.
I mean, by everything you mean
It's
like
North Korea.
the gas station and the Piggly Wiggly, and that's it. That's all there is.
Oh, I've never been to a Piggly Wiggly. It's a real thing.
No, it's
just in the movie.
Yeah, no, it's a scam by Big Southern Grocer to make you think that there's a place called Piggly Wiggly.
Big Southern Grocer.
There used to be 2 Piggly Wigglies here in Columbia. Now we're down to just one. One went to the great pig farm in the sky. So, actually, the one on my side of town closed. It's kind of shitty. So.
That sucks.
Yeah. Piggly Wiggly,
how really?
It's one of those types of grocery stores where you go to the back and they've got like everyone goes to a place like a Publix because you can like go to their deli or whatever and order food and whatnot. Piggly Wiggly was like a southern kitchen, so you could go get like big jars of mac and cheese and like fried chicken, but like good southern fried chicken, not your typical store-bought stuff. And it'd be like dirt cheap. Like when I ran the business here in town, I used to do that. I used to just go to Piggly Wiggly and it would be like, "Oh, do you want a 20-piece bucket for like $3? Here you go, son." That was
yes, please. I'll take 2.
Yeah. Those were the good old days. I like how Dave thinks it's appropriate to just put the video over your face. Oh, no, now he's okay.
No.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Let me see if this works, if the audio comes across.
Do you guys remember tracking? Like on the VHS where you have to like, do that kind of thing, make it work?
Yep.
We'll go over here. This is us camping in Allegheny Mountains.
Oh.
Not us, Dave.
That's me.
That's Dave there.
That's that's prehistoric Dave.
This is great, man. The clothes, the cars. There's our old van.
Did y'all live in that?
No, we pick up new friends.
Oh, okay.
You know, my parents go out and they get new friends for us for a few days. That's my little brother.
Yeah, I'm full John.
Is the audio coming across?
Yeah.
What about the coonskin cap thing that
I think that comes up later. I'm gonna
Okay.
jump ahead. Oh yeah, here we are hiking.
So his dad, they're hiking through Allegheny Mountains.
That's my sister.
That's Linda, his sister. And his dad is lugging one of those old camcorders with like the VCR.
It's like, yeah,
you know,
the two-piece.
Yeah, so you have to carry that and this big camcorder. And then Dave is hiking the woods in flip-flops.
Yep, and cut off orange pants.
Yep. So you can never diss me about my wanting to wear flip-flops all the time.
Yeah, I wore flip-flops everywhere when I was little.
Flip-flops.
At a certain point, you can start hearing my dad like...
Mm-hmm.
It is little Dave. Yep.
No, Ryan. It's prehistoric Dave.
Yeah, this seems like some found footage stuff.
Oh, this is the part. Perfect. Yeah, this is the part where they find the hobo under the rocks and.
That's weird. My parents were probably younger than I am. They were definitely younger than I am.
Definitely. Yeah. Yep.
Is
And those socks, man. I love those like pulled up socks.
No stabilization here. Oh, there's one of the caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go crawling in there.
I didn't.
Oh.
And then they lost Dave. He's just gone.
We had to go get a new sibling.
Okay, so there's his sister Linda.
That's so crazy. I haven't watched these in a long time.
And his brother's the youngest one.
You're going in the cave, Dave.
I know you're going in the cave,
Dave. But it's so funny to like see, and it's cute because like you get to hear your little voice. You know?
I've always been kind of like trying to stay out of it.
Ryan's saying some really problematic things about miniature Dave. That if Aaron were here, Ryan would probably be timed out right now. But Aaron's not here, so.
So let's see Dave. Are they going to show you? Is your dad going to show you?
See, this is the bear cave.
Oh, that's probably
That's
me.
you.
Yep. There I am. With my coonskin cap. There we go.
Yeah, you got to have that. If you're going to go into a cave and get mauled by a bear, you're going to need that.
You want to look like a small.
Oh, no, he left the hat. Oh, you're fucked.
He did.
Yep, flip-flops are there.
I need a flashlight.
Hiking through the forest.
Okay,
And
so
flip-flops that are
now
too
is
big.
where
That's my flashlight.
Okay, the big one is right now.
Younger brother freaks out about the flashlight.
Yeah, he loses his shit here. I'm so glad I'm streaming this on the internet.
Yeah.
He's gonna love that.
Poor John.
I'll spank you, John.
Oh. Oh, because he was gonna throw my hat in the cave.
Oh.
Put your head down a little.
I love this so much.
A little more. Come on, Linda. Stick your head out. It won't see you back in there.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you had like 40 siblings. That's nice.
They came and went.
Oh, they came
Oh,
and
okay.
went.
Yeah.
You know.
Where is that? I'm
The
gonna go back. Oh, there it is.
All right.
Oh man.
You know what? I thought that the old VHS tapes of little kids would have helped us in our subscribers, but we're still stuck on 17.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Man, I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
All right, I'll get the birthday
Wait, what kind
loaded
of
up.
Yeah. I shouldn't have.
No, don't.
You know, on a totally random side note, like when we finished the show and then we did the little thing where we started the countdown timer for this show, and then I jumped up and ran across the hallway to go change my clothes, and so I was just ripping my suit off, and Anna Kay goes, "What are you doing?" And I say, "I gotta take off my clothes. It's Dave's birthday." And I haven't seen or heard from her since. I don't expect
it,
to.
yeah.
Oh my god.
She's packing right
Yeah. Oh, that's what I hear. That's what that was. I heard a car door. I didn't know.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
now. Okay, my Uber's here.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that's great. That's really great. So now there's, I mean, we have all this technology, just so easy to pull out your phone, take pictures, take video.
Yeah,
Mhm.
This was an event.
We did not have, like, my family did not have a VHS. Like, we didn't have a camcorder. My aunt did though, and she recorded like all the family stuff.
Yeah.
Like anytime we would be at family functions. So I know she has a closet full of just the old VHS tapes. You
Oh,
know,
We
yeah.
should rob her.
no, but I do. I want to ask because I spent a lot of time over there too. Like as
I
a
want
kid,
to see Little Mary.
my mom always asks me, "Are you recording their little voices because they'll change?" And I'm like, "Mom, I have a phone." Like, yes, I am
Yeah.
recording their little voices.
Hours and hours of
Mhm.
stuff we'll never look
Lots
at again.
of videos, but it is so weird to hear like how much David has changed. He's going to be 13, and then I hear the video of him, and I'll probably share it tomorrow because it'll pop up
Oh, the
on my
birthday thing?
memories. Yeah, he's saying "Happy birthday, Dad." But so he went for his physical today, D3, and he is 1.5 inches shorter than I am right now.
Is this the right hand?
And
Oh,
he's
like-
going to be 13. So he's going to be taller than you, I bet.
Well, that'd be crazy.
I mean, he is so tall already.
like,
Oh,
dear,
hey,
I only
So
have
weird.
colored slides as a child left.
yeah, Daniel Snowden just subscribed so that he can have the dick shitter emote. There it is right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I should open Twitch and give you an overview.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if I would tell everybody that my aunt has a closet full of videotapes of children, but
Well, no,
I would tell everybody that my
Not-
aunt has a closet full of I hear videotapes me. of children.
Oh.
Yeah. That should kill that.
All right. All right, that's cool. You killed me. That's fine. It's whatever.
The latency's great.
no, it's not just children. It's the
Oh, okay, that's great.
Corpses, just
Yeah,
No.
whatever.
dead animals.
Did we already talk about Ed Gaines?
Yeah.
I did think I did that last night.
Yes.
I know so much about serial killers now because of this podcast I'm listening to.
Slides. Carl, my dad has a lot of slides.
Oh.
That's what he would everything was on slides. Like he thought that was going to be the newest, biggest thing, and it was for a time. But so there's so many, and he's got the thing so you can do the slideshow on the wall,
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
But yeah, slides. Hmm.
There was this show on Netflix that was called Worst Roommate Ever, and it was one of
Yes.
what?
Sorry. I only watched 3 of them.
Okay, I So
I can do this.
me and Anna Kay only watched the first one, and then she wanted to watch something else, so we started watching some other series. And then one day when I was riding my bike, I was still riding the bike when whatever I had watched finished. So I was like, well, I'll just start the second episode of that series we started the other day. And of course, all the victims in every fucking episode are these cute little girls, these petite young women who, you know, couldn't defend themselves or whatever. And I can't watch it. I can't watch that shit because I'm always like, that's Anna Kay. Every victim is Anna Kay. It's some.
And now you can't let her leave the house.
Yeah, Anna Kay's. Yeah, I'm not worried about what she thinks about the birthday stream because she's tied to the bed, so it's, you know, she's not going anywhere. But
for her own safety.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm the TSA in this goddamn household, but but yeah, no, every single victim is Anna Kay, and we had talked once before about, like, you know, I should get you a gun because, I mean, Anna Kay, you guys haven't met Anna Kay yet in real life. Anna Kay's like 4'11", like whenever it's too cold outside and she's upset, I just put her in my coat pocket and continue down the street. You know.
Yeah, you don't have to give her your jacket. You can just tuck her in there.
Yeah. So
we're both warm now.
And so I was like, you know, we gotta get you a gun because, you know.
AK needs an AK.
Yeah, well, I don't know about an AK. The AK's bigger than she is.
She's like, I ain't even tucking my AK today.
Yeah. And she was like, oh no, I've got a thing. And so in her purse, like, so here's the thing. Let me describe to you exactly how the scenario went down, and you'll already know where I'm going with this. I say, oh, you've got like a defensive measure in your purse. She's like, yeah, I've got a mace spray, and then I've got like one of those, like, you know, those like little balls or whatever, kind of like a billy club type thing, like a jack or whatever.
Oh.
I'd said, okay, like, show me. I want to see them. And she's like, oh, okay. So she goes over and grabs her purse and opens it up and is like, you know, starts rummaging around. Like, here comes the wallet.
There's those keys I was looking for.
Actually, that was literally what I was going to say next is, oh, there's my keys. And she was like, oh, here's the thing. And like, she shakes it up or whatever. And she's like, I think it still works, you know. And then she's
give it a good shake first.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, I already killed you 17 times while you were looking for this thing, and I'm not convinced that would stop me from killing you in the first place. But if it would, it still didn't work because you're like, no, excuse me, sir, give me a moment, and you're going into
yes,
like that doesn't work.
I am talking.
Yes,
I am talking.
Yes. Yeah, that doesn't.
Can you please be a gentleman about this?
Yeah, that doesn't work. But then she's also the kind of person that's like, but I don't want to hurt anyone. And I'm like, Jesus.
Sometimes you gotta hurt people.
Yeah.
But there's the time, you know.
Sometimes the people need a killing.
Yeah, that's gonna be my tombstone. Is Alan never killed nobody that didn't need killing. That's what it's gonna. But seriously though, so that whole thing was a wash, right? I was like, we got either we have to work out something for you, or I just chauffeur you around everywhere you go. That's the only answer. And then,
dude, what if I taught Mary to run the show and she could be the producer sometimes?
No.
Look, it's real easy.
It's really easy. Yeah, I can't even run our show, so I'm sorry. I would, but. Look at all these buttons. Look at it.
Dave Cam. That's what the most I hit that, and I always forget to hit that. Mm-hmm. So that just goes back and forth.
Yeah.
And then all the bottom ones are the fun little graphics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is
don't
like
push too many buttons at once.
Like.
It's okay.
Don't forget about
You don't have to.
Which we forgot about today.
Mary, he wasn't listening when you said no, so he's gonna keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, so the next thing. So then you can just transition.
Yeah, sure.
When you're wrong and when Alan's wrong.
Oh. Okay.
There should be a.
So those are.
Those are
hold on. Quick production note. If you're gonna have an it needs to be followed with an aw, like an audience aw, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, like a.
Well, like that, but not a fucking laugh. Our audience hates the guests so much that when they get something wrong, they're like, "Ha ha, take that, faggot." Yeah,
asshole.
Yeah. So no, very similar to that, but not quite. Yeah, Celeste says all she needs to know is the technical difficulty button. That's the only one. Yeah.
That's right. The other corner. That's important. So it's by itself over here.
Okay.
You know, the thing is
I want to let Dan know. I just want to let Dan know that his birthday's tomorrow. So, I'm going to be nice to him.
She keeps smacking my hand every time I try to hit a button. Like,
I'm
stop.
sorry. Go ahead, Alan. It's your show.
Wow. Yes, Ryan, the interracial kiss button. You need to have one that goes, ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Just a sound, or people actually come up?
No, like the audience going, ooh. Like that's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So anyway, if anybody out there is wanting to be a producer of a podcast, please email me at tgsalanmosley@gmail. Actually,
You don't need a resume.
the technical difficulties button's probably one of the best buttons we have. I don't think we've even used it in like a month. It's been a while.
I'm getting way too good at this.
Yeah.
I think I've transcended. I think, we need a new producer to come in and fuck it up.
Maybe next week I'll intentionally sabotage you. Maybe we'll get all the buttons set up, but I'll purposely rig one to be wrong, and then you'll panic when something doesn't go right, and then I'll be like, God damn it, Dave, ha 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 ha, and turn on. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure it's on like a scene transition from like desk 1 to desk 2.
You'll be
like, suddenly you pop on screen during the commercial.
Or like that time you hit the nobody gives a shit button when someone asks a question.
Yeah. No, and so then you'll panic because it'll be wrong, and you won't know why it's wrong, and then like at 3:00 in the morning you'll be just sitting there on the side of the bed, and Mary will be like, Dave, what's the matter? And you'll just be saying, but we had everything set up.
Probably thinking about.
He's probably thinking about other women, and Dave's thinking, I know I hit the transition button. It should have gone to Alan Cam. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, we have to do that.
Daniel, no, they started farming.
Yeah, they're all farmers now, everyone. And it's only 2 producers so far. It's just Blake and Sherry. There wasn't a third, unless I'm forgetting someone.
Technically, is a serial killer. I think it has to be more. There has to be a cool down period.
Mm-hmm.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
He's got the cool down period, but I don't think he has the body count.
Okay. Gotta up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
that...
in all seriousness though, we're gonna have to discuss. This is a conversation. I know that you guys were planning on maybe coming down here ahead of the big show, like you'd be here before.
We're gonna make a vacation.
Yeah.
We're gonna crash at your place, Alan. Right?
I mean, I've got a living room downstairs that has a rowing machine in it, and that's basically it. So one person gets the rowing machine, everyone else has to pick some carpet, and just.
Yeah, no, I'm joking.
I'll sleep on the carpet because sleeping on a rowing machine seems uncomfortable.
The kids would fight over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to sleep.
You have one rowing machine because that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Where's
so,
Dan? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I kind of want to snoop around a little. You check the cupboards.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
See what's really behind the facade.
You want to be. You have to ask yourself the question that if you open some random drawer and you realize there's a false bottom, and then in there is like all the pictures of the people I've murdered. In that moment, do you think to yourself, I should do something with this information, or I shouldn't have searched the house? Which one do you think?
Yeah, I'd rather not know.
Yeah.
Like I open the medicine cabinet and on the back is scratched on, "Are you proud of me now, Mom?"
Wow. Wow. I mean the answer is no, but wow.
Oh, he has a spare room in an RV. There we go.
Oh, good.
Are you ready to have all the kids there go,
flip
Dan?
back and forth.
Yeah.
So fast that viewers are going to get sick.
You close the drawer and never mention it.
I'll tell you what, when you said lightning round, I got terrified. I'm like, how am I going to handle the cameras on this when he's answering questions in like one word? And I'm like, but Alan doesn't want me to jump back and forth. And
I tell you, it's really easy. See, I'm fucking with you already. See, it's really easy to deal with the cameras. Hey, Mary, say something really quick.
Hello, how are you guys? What's up?
Mary, that's so awesome. What do you think, Dave?
Well, it's not like I know when you're going to start talking or when they're going to stop talking. And I've gotten better at it. Got better. Are you proud of me now, Alan? Are you proud?
Our medicine cabinet, if you open it, it says, are you proud of me now, Alan?
There's just, I don't know. I've got this image in my head now, Mary. You're gonna go downstairs tonight at like 4 a.m. and there at the dining room table by himself, it's just gonna be Dave with like like a mug of tea or coffee or whatever. He's gonna have made coffee. He's gonna have he's already made coffee at like 3:30 a.m. And he's going, Dave, what's the matter? It's just that. But I didn't know when Alan was going to stop and Boldin was going to start. So I hit the button, but he just sat there.
Yeah, and then Alan started talking again. I was already on Boldin. I can't just jump back and forth.
Yep.
I'm sipping some
Four Loco and
out of the top of somebody's skull.
Wait, what?
Okay.
So
anyway, I got distracted. So when you guys come down here, we're gonna have to have a powwow and discuss. Like I'm gonna take you guys out to Andrew Camelia's place at least once before the big day, and so you're gonna kind of get like a layout of the land and figure out like the studio's right there, and then there's like a sidewalk, and then there'll be kind of like we'll set up some kind of a stage. And I mean, like, this is a space of like maybe 20 feet away from one another. And then there's going to be the field where we're going to have like the seating and a tent and whatever. And to then figure out how do we, right here on this like piece of gravel 20 feet outside the studio, how do we do It's Too Late?
Okay.
There's going to be some
I'm
shit
excited.
to figure out.
I kind of assume that you either already have this all figured out, and I'll just, we'll get some ponchos or whatever, and then we'll come in panchos, and then we just step in, and you got everything all built.
All I'm going to say is I work really well under pressure. Like, that's why I'm a procrastinator.
The only time you work. No.
Thanks. Because I put everything off to the very last minute.
Yeah. I like how the person whose name is in the credits next to executive producer said, and I quote, "I just assumed you would have all that set up and we would just go grab a bite to eat and then it would just all be there waiting on me when I got there." Boy, you know what they say when you assume.
Oh boy.
I mean, so there's a couple things. This was my shower thought this morning. So this morning when I was taking a shower, I wasn't thinking about tonight's show, actually. I was actually thinking about June 4th, and I was thinking about everyone's going to get there that afternoon. We're going to have such a great time. Everyone's going to be, we're going to have so much awesome stuff to eat and drink, and there's going to be so many people to visit. Like you're going to know the people, but it's not people you normally see. And so it's like a huge reunion every single time another car shows up in the driveway. Right. But then there's going to come a time around like 6:30, 7 o'clock where it's going to be like, hey, we got to start getting ready to set up to do the show. Yeah. I mean, we got to get this. Like, we're going to have already set up the stage and stuff, but I mean, like, we got to go do the show. And then my mind started to wonder of, well, I've got this one camera right here, but to do a live show where, like you have to have multiple cameras so that, and you're probably going to have somebody like on one or two of those cameras just so that you can, because we're going to have more things than we're going to have equipment. So, right. So we're going to have a couple volunteers who are going to come out there that day and be like, here's my show notes. You don't have to perform in the program, but you have to like just generally be keeping up with what's going on. You got to turn the camera, whatever. We're going to have a camera person or two.
I feel like from the story, from the other live episode, if Dan does volunteer, maybe you shouldn't take him up on it if he couldn't push that button.
Yeah.
Put him in charge of a camera.
I got my webcam here. I'll just bring this whole setup, and I'll just be sitting in the corner staring at screens.
Dan's not volunteering. Okay, Dan.
Well, see, because there's so many things to think about. So, like, for instance, the people in the audience are going to physically see you over on the side of the stage, like sitting there, like in your little producer's booth or whatever. Like it's not a mystery. They can physically see you. Will you still use the fake studio background, even though they can clearly see you in real life and know you're not?
I was just thinking about that, and I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to pack that up. It is a long pipe across the top, but we could just tack it up.
I mean, I have a green screen.
They're not gonna have a roof.
I have a green screen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not too hard to transport a sheet.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we'll just go with whatever's behind me, because I don't use a lot of, because I like our green screen because we use a lot of graphics in the background, and so that they can be in the background instead of the foreground.
See, that's the
for
other
our show.
green screens don't work.
See, that's
No, we can use any green screen.
Oh,
but see,
okay.
that's the thing though, is that the normie answer is that, well, like the camera will just be on you and you'll look like whatever you look like there at the show. But the funnier troll answer is that you're still using a green screen, so there's this wild disconnect between real life and
what's streaming and what people are seeing.
Exactly.
Everyone's going to be on their phones anyway to be commenting.
Yeah. And then,
well, that's what I like.
No, I was gonna say, so like for instance, so the camera I use is like, this is a funny little thing. Dave and I have discussed on more than one occasion of maybe doing a little video that is kind of like the making of an episode, and we talk a little bit about OBS and the graphics and the equipment we use, and just, it's kind of like behind the scenes, right? So I use a Panasonic Lumix GH4. It's a DSLR. I have it set to 4K, and of course, it's just set to cinema mode, and I have the little HDMI whatever conversion to regular HDMI, and it's plugged into my computer. So I'm using it as a video camera, even though it's a, DSLR or whatever. But that from a production standpoint, even if we had 27 different cameras, you don't want to have 27 different cameras where every camera is a slightly different like quality and make.
Different resolution.
Yeah, you can't have
frame
that
size.
So I had thought about
from widescreen to square, and
I had thought about we might have to do is we might have to like make some posts or put out some feelers out there to say, hey, is there anybody out there that like has, like maybe you've got a camera and a tripod, or maybe you've got some lighting or whatever that you could bring in June. So that we can set up.
I can put this Logitech webcam onto a tripod. It's got the little adapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know you could, but I mean, in a perfect world, I would have like 4 of these, and then that way you wouldn't have to move the cameras around, right? They would all just be stationary in a spot, and there would be no effort involved. When Blake and I would do the live shows the last few years, he had 2 camcorders.
Good night, Celeste.
And
good night, Celeste. Thank you.
Good night, Celeste. Thank you. All right. So he had the camcorders, and what he would do is that one of them would be like on the stage, just pointed at the stage, and then
the other one shifts around.
And so that way he would be controlling one as opposed to like trying to control 2 while also using the laptop and whatever.
Am I gonna have a team? Can I have people on headsets, and I'll be like, okay, I need you to pan over. I need a 3-person shot on Alan with his guest.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing, is that because you're the sidekick, you're a performer on the show, so you can't be back there moving fucking cameras around because you're up here on the show. Someone else is gonna. Now you may be sitting there with like your computer even, or a laptop or something, and you might be running OBS. Like you might just use my OBS, and it's literally sitting there on a.
That seems like
for you.
That makes a lot of sense.
But that means
I probably shouldn't do the screen capture if we're in the same geographic location.
But we're not gonna. I'm not gonna have you log into tight VNC, even though we're literally like I can see you. That's not gonna happen. But actually, kind of would be sort of funny. But we're not gonna. No, we're not gonna do that. Like we're
I'll be Skyping in.
Dan has a GoPro. We should strap to one of the kids.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay.
Let's see how the crowd's doing. It's just like,
what's the crowd?
All right.
You just see this everybody's knees and butts.
Yeah.
And
so hold on. So we had like at episode 150, for instance, we had 2 camcorders, and then we also had a Logitech webcam that was just on Blake, and then we also had a GoPro that he could suspend to have a view of the audience. Like it's cool to have that like fade out picture of the audience, while the music's playing or whatever. So that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of shit, both that we have to get together, and we're going to need at least one, if not a couple of people, just to sort of kind of be available to make sure like, hey, that camera's in position, it's pointed where it needs to be, yada yada yada. There's a lot that goes into it. So when Blake and I would do the live shows the last few years, of course we were doing them in the party room, which was attached to the studio. So it's not like we weren't setting out in the middle of a fucking field. We were doing it in the back of the studio. You and I are, for one, not Blake and with a garage full of shit to work with, and 2, we're doing it out in a field as opposed to in a studio. It's gonna be Interesting.
A banger.
It's gonna be a banger. It's gonna be a hell of a show. Yeah.
I'll capture the squirrel.
I was waiting for that message to come through earlier today. It didn't actually come
No,
in
we
at
skipped.
all.
We skipped right over banger and went to panic mode.
Yeah.
And it turned out better. So maybe saying it's going to be a banger is a bad omen.
Well, here's the thing. This is something that Andrew, our host, has asked me about what we're planning to do. Is we have to, before we talk about any of that other stuff, we have to decide, is this going to be a show that we live stream and the whole world can see it? Or is it going to be a show that we just record for posterity? Or do we not even record or stream it at all? You had to be there. Because obviously, if we don't record or stream it at all, then half of that goes away. You don't even have to worry about it. You had to be there.
Yeah, microphones and speakers is all you need.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be so much easier.
It would be a lot easier, but will we regret not having it? Not having
I
the
think
show?
so.
Probably.
Definitely.
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to listen to that podcast.
So you can hear Derek go by in his unicycle juggling.
Yeah, just hear the knives going.
Dan, so the thing is that I can tell you right now 100% Blake's not going to help, but I'm and I mean this with all the love in the world. He's one of my best friends. If I produce the whole show, it'll be way better than any of the shows that he did for 50, 100, or 150 because I won't use lots of mismatched equipment. Blake was trying to...
Yeah, he was old school.
He was old school, and that was degrading the production, not helping it. And Andrew actually has some gear at his studio there where we're going to be doing it. Not like he doesn't do shit like we do, but he has some stuff because he has more like a music studio. So we have some stuff laying around. We got some lighting. We got some things like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually lost in how people integrate analog and digital and like bringing like physical mixers into a digital format. Like I'm all digital. So it's like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I would even.
Oh, me too. I'm like all
Mary's,
digital. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so I
have no idea. What
there are some basic things that I know we'll be able to scrounge together. Like we're gonna have to get some mics and we're gonna have to get some longer XLR cables because we're gonna need some room.
Oh, the XLR cables.
Those are the ones that hook into the mics with the big fat connectors.
I
have never used one of those in my life.
Yeah, this is an XLR cable right here plugged into this Shure SM7.
Oh.
Yeah, we actually have some of those cables, but I've never used them. Somebody gave us a bag of audio equipment, and I don't know how to make that do the thing.
Yeah.
Me neither. Are you guys surprised?
Yeah. So because like we're gonna have to have a board. Like I use a board because this is plugged into a board. We're gonna have to have a board because we're gonna have to have everybody's got to be, because it's not just as simple as it's me and Dave, so that's 2 microphones. Well, are we gonna do viewer mail? Are we gonna have other people be involved with viewer mail? You got to have more microphones.
Are they gonna walk up and read their questions?
Are we gonna?
That would be awesome.
Are you gonna have a live audience? Well, we know we are. Well, if you're gonna have a live audience and you actually want to hear people ha 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 clap clap clap, like. If there was an audience of people 50 feet that way, this isn't really picking them up. This is for me. So you have to mic the audience if you want audience response.
That's because you have a nice microphone. Mine will pick them up.
Well, no, you don't want that, though. You're going to have filters set on so that you don't hear when shit's going on out there. So you have to mic the audience. You gotta have some audio. You have to have some mics in and around the sound stage so that you're picking up.
Yeah, we definitely need to mic Ryan.
I don't think you can
in
wear
case there's any questions.
a mic yourself.
Ryan's going to be wearing the lapel, so that he's going to be like our CNN correspondent, so that just randomly throughout the show we can check in with Ryan, see how are you doing. All right? Do you need a refill? How's your drink? Did you enjoy the pudding? You doing okay? Do you have a question? Any comments or concerns? Just How many people are going to be in this audience? Well, you know what? If people would buy their goddamn tickets, then I would know. Actually, right now, I know for a fact this will be our most well-attended event we've ever done. So we probably had somewhere around like 50 to 60 people last year. I'm actually a little bit scared, because Andrew and Camellia told me like a couple of months ago that, more because of parking than anything, we probably only have room for maybe like 50-ish people. And I had said, well, you know, like that's fine. It is what it is. I know a lot of people are going to carpool. I think we're going to end up having more than 50. And then they got back to me and said, actually, we're going to gravel off a whole huge chunk of space so that we're going to have tons of extra parking. So, you know, bring more people.
Sweet.
And then it turns out, then they put out a bunch of feelers and invited some different groups of like
Whoa.
Liberty people in and around the Nashville area. We might have 100 fucking people there. Yeah. Dave, Dave, look at me. There might be 100 people in the audience saying, all right, do the show, Dave. Let's see the show. Come on, Dave. Perform.
But don't let them psych you out, bro.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, 100 people fucking during the live show.
Woodstock
yeah.
It's gonna be Woodstock.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff. See, this is the thing. This is a weekly show. So we're going to be doing an episode the week before that week, right? So we're not going to spend too much effort planning that show right now when we have a whole lot of shows between now and then to plan.
So wait, you're doing a Wednesday show?
I'm not going to do a show that week's show will be Saturday. Okay. So it's sort of kind of like taking a week off, but not really, because we're still doing a show that week, just on a different day.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, like at Wednesday at 9:00 Eastern time, I'm just gonna like play the intro video, and then it's just gonna go to a graphic that says "Join us Saturday night," and then the stream's gonna end. That's gonna be the whole show. There you go.
Yep.
So we've done that in years past. So I mean, the show's been on Wednesday for years, and we would do the show on the live shows on the weekend. So in years past, I think last year we actually did do a show on Wednesday, that was stupid. We shouldn't have done that. But in the years before that, we didn't do a show that, like, we basically only take off 2 weeks all year, and that was one of the weeks we didn't do a show Wednesday. So
so I feel like we're getting to the point like where I should probably like schedule some vacation days and like
you should actually show up.
We really.
Yeah. like nothing's coming up. Like I thought World War III was going to happen, and that's kind of dragging.
I mean, it's going to cost $2,000 in gas just to get down there one way.
We were talking about that. I got to work some overtime.
If we're really lucky, then things will maybe get slightly better between now and then, because it's not tomorrow, you know.
I'm hoping. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But if the dollar tanks, might have to like if we're just burning money to stay warm.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
We'll go to Tennessee to stay warm. It'll be hot down there. We'll be fine.
You want to know something that's funny is I have to actually adjust this. So Dan subscribed to the show, but we actually had so many subscriptions run out literally tonight that we're now back down to 16. And that's with him subscribing.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Wait, how does it? Wait,
I think it's a monthly thing. So
it's a monthly subscription. The month is over. It's been over a month since we started doing the Twitch stuff, so people's subscriptions ran out and they have to resubscribe. But of course, obviously, we want to get more subscribers. I mean, you know,
right?
Yeah, please, comma, you get them. So there's a lot of stuff for us to talk about from a perspective of exactly what kind of production are we planning? Are we gonna, you know, record? Are we gonna live stream it? If we end up having something like 100 fucking people there, how elaborate are we gonna go? I mean, I want to put on a good show for everybody, but you know, like, are we gonna? So viewer mail. Are we gonna do live viewer mail, or are we gonna do pre-screened viewer mail like we normally do? Like the last couple of years, Sherry was there.
Really like the idea of live viewer mail. Like,
well, I mean, maybe you can say like, okay, these are the questions that you want to ask, and like have them ask their pre-submitted question. You know, like when you go on, you know, like Phil Donahue, you know, and they're like,
okay,
you've got a question.
So I was going to bring that up. So like in the past, we tried to do that. We didn't really do it because we didn't have enough cameras, quite frankly. But if we have a wireless mic, because before Sherry would do it, Sherry would be the person who would like get people to ask their viewer mail questions. So if we have someone and we hand them a wireless mic and they're going around the audience getting people's viewer mail questions, then not only do we obviously have to have the wireless mic and we've got to have that shit plugged into the board and it's got to be an OBS, but we also have to have another camera that's going to follow the person in the crowd. And we also have to have a spotlight, because you can't have a random person in the crowd. It'll be too dark. We're going to be lit up like fucking Christmas. The crowd's going to be dark. So if you have someone in the crowd with a wireless mic asking people questions, you have to have an extra camera and someone operating a spotlight.
Okay, I have two things to say. One, it's going to be dark because I'm going to need to bring what are the bugs like? I'm going to have to bring some massive mosquito spray for my children and myself.
What the hell?
Thanks, Dave.
But also, what about having them what about having them like, okay, they go to this area. This is where you line up for your viewer mail questions. Your questions have been submitted and reviewed, and you stand here at a microphone, and so no one has to walk around to the audience.
So that's what
they just stand. They
Like
line
a podium.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they line up and then they ask their question and go back to their seat.
So that's what we did. That's what we
there.
did the last 2 years. So at episode 150, that's what we did. And that's what we did at episode 100 is we had we had Sherry on a stool and she had a mic and people came up to that podium and asked their question.
Right.
That's a way to do it, but it's kind of more fun to have like a person like in the audience.
It is.
So
it is.
Somebody
but
with
if that's
a GoPro and a headlamp.
if that's gonna cause a headache, if that one little thing's gonna cause a headache, it might be worth not doing that. Also, what time of day? I thought you said this was like 7 p.m. the show would be going on. Isn't it still going to be
8 p.m. their time?
8? No, they're behind us an hour.
Yeah.
So
The show starts at 9. It would start at 8 there.
Are you doing the regular time? 8, like regular time?
So there's lots of questions there. The first one is don't you worry about the man on the scene causing a headache. Everything involved in the show is going to be a headache. So don't you worry about that. The second thing is that so the event starts at 3. If anything, I might even move it up to 2. I'm already going to be there, but you want to have time for people to get there, and we're having a big cookout, right? We're having a ton of food, and there's a lot going to be going on. So basically, we're going to have pretty much that whole afternoon, and then into the evening as the sun's going down, for people to just hang out and have a great time. We will have to decide somewhere as the sun starts to set, perhaps at the normal time. Maybe at 6:30, 7 o'clock, we say, okay, let's start to kind of like corral the audience into position. And then maybe it is at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time that we start the show. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot going on. There's gonna be a lot of moving parts. I mean, there's a
lot of
yeah.
I'm just thinking like, well, okay, so like for some reason my brain said, and this is just me, like we're getting together, we're hanging out a little bit, do the show, and then a big hangout afterwards, like after the show. So like not everybody's all like fucked up and drunk and shit.
No, yeah, we're going into it like that.
Like, but we're going into it.
Well, it's like we did our live show, like, but we didn't really care about the audience. We started the show and then the audience.
Cared about the audience.
Well, yeah, but they kind of meandered down like during the show.
Right. We're like, okay, guys, it's 9:30. We're doing the thing, and they come in and out.
So
people were coming and going. There was a lot of.
But there was only like 10 people.
Yeah. So Dan brought up something because he's been to our shows before. Is that in the past, because things always tend to drag. Things always tend to take longer than you think they will. Like if we're sitting here right now saying, okay, guys, it's 7:30. I want everyone to sit down because we're going to start the show at 8. It'll be fucking 2 a.m. the next morning before everyone sits the fuck down. That's one thing.
Yeah.
The second thing is that because a lot of people will have been there, because a lot of people will have already been eating, drinking, hanging out, and they've been away from their hotels, away from their houses, whatever. Mm-hmm. A lot, and especially if the show runs late, which it inevitably does, a lot of people, when the show ends, they get in their cars and fucking drive away. Now, in some sense, that doesn't bother me because I really only care to visit with like our our longtime friends and fans and supporters of the show. So if there's 100 people there and 60 of them are people who are like not on my Patreon, I don't give a fuck if they leave 5 minutes after the show ends. But we have a lot of friends. We have a lot of mutual friends who are going to be like, no, let's hang out. No, let's go to Waffle House. Let's do whatever. So I'm going to be open to whatever they want to do. But I'm just telling you from an event standpoint, when the show ends, a bunch of people are going to get in their cars and leave. So that's why you want to have time to hang out before the show.
Okay. I get you.
Rub elbows.
Dinner's first and then the show. Right. That's kind of how that's going down. We're not going to have a formal dinner. It's just going to basically, we're going to be having a cookout all afternoon and evening. But when the dinner's over, there's going to be a show. And when the show ends, you're going to see 80% of the audience is going to be gone in like 30 minutes. That's just how it is.
Okay.
It doesn't... You know, like Derek and Celeste will still be there. You know, Ryan will still be there. Matters. Actually, Ryan will have passed out at like 6:30, so he won't even have seen the show. But
we'll be shoveling him into the back of a car to the Waffle House.
But he wants to be the one going around asking the viewer mail.
Yeah, I want to. So. But he has his own questions. But I'd love to see Ryan with a GoPro and a headlamp. With a wireless mic running around.
Yeah. So Dan, that's not true. So my biggest regret at episode 100, which by the way was like our most watched episode all time, was 100. That was when we had the blues band, Jake Davis, Clay's son.
Oh, they sounded great.
Oh yeah, dude, they're fucking amazing.
I listened to the podcast.
Yeah. Blake did a good job. Like that was Blake's shining achievement. Like Blake is not really all about all this digital TV production, but what he is an old school sound guy, and he mic'd the fuck out of that band, and they sounded really good. But anyway, when we did episode 100, so much went into the physical setting up and production of the show that I basically only spent like an hour or two visiting with everyone, and the weekend was over and everyone left. And I went home. I didn't even get to hang out with like half the people that came for more than 15 seconds.
Dude, same. Yeah.
And so I don't want that. And then in episode 150, I tried to do better. We tried to do more of a, well, let's scale it back a little bit. Let's try to be a little bit more well prepared. Let's try to scale back the production a little bit, and then let's try to plan it time-wise so that it's not going to take all fucking night to set up the show, and then we'll have time to visit. Last year, the biggest issue was that the show ran super late. We didn't get started until really late. It was a combination of there was a lot of late arrivals. Like the doors opened at like 6 o'clock, and we were going to start the show at like 7:38, and at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, we still had cars pulling into the driveway. And it's like, and you guys never saw the studio in person, but it wasn't that big of a building, and you can hear sound outside the building. Like the party room wasn't perfectly soundproofed, only the interior of the building was. So we couldn't have people, because we would lock the door. We would lock the door when it was time to do the show. Like if you've ever been to a play type theater, sometimes they'll say, look, when the intermission is over, you get in your fucking chair and don't interrupt the show. So we would lock the doors when we're trying to do the show because we're taping, right? We can't have people just walking across like the front of my like if some dude just walked, like Ryan Seifert just walks by while we're sitting here doing the show.
A comedy bar.
Right, yeah.
So man, we didn't even start the show until like 2 hours after it was supposed to. And then sure enough, the band was the musical guest, and they were basically at the end of the show. And when the show was over, I had made them the same arrangement last year as I did the year before, which was when the show's over, if you guys just want to, because it's so much work for them to set up, if you guys want to just play a set, have a tip jar, you're more than welcome. They didn't even do that. They didn't even do that because it was already so late at night and so many people left the moment the show was over that they just started breaking their shit down as soon as we were done recording. And I felt bad for them because they did a lot of work to set up just to play like one song. Look, I'm a musician. I understand. If someone says to you, hey, come play a song at my show, I'm like, dude, it's like all day for me to set up. I'm not going to play a song. We're either going to play a whole set or you can go fuck yourself. I'm not going to spend 8 hours to play one 3-minute song and go home. And they did, and I felt really bad. But it was because everything ran so late. But those events were nighttime events. The doors opened at like 6:30. The show was supposed to be at like 8. And then depending on how long the show was, we would have time to visit. This year is going to be a cookout where we're starting at like 3 p.m. So there should be plenty of time for everyone to get there, everyone to visit with each other, all that stuff. But it's just, I feel really bad because in years past, I mean, and I'm not like boo-hoo, everyone give me money, although you could totally go to my Patreon, is that I'll spend 100 hours at least setting up to do the show, to do a 1-hour show. And in the last couple of years I did that and then watched everyone get in their cars and leave by the time I changed my tie.
Aw.
And I was like, well, fuck. And of course we have our private Ponchos dinner like the night before or whatever. And I try to get everyone to come to that. But then inevitably what happens is that when that weekend gets here, like you guys will already be here, but there'll be some people that come up early. There'll be some people that show up that day. There'll be some people that leave like Sunday morning. There'll be some people that don't leave until Monday morning. And so everyone's got different travel plans. Some people are driving, some people are flying. It's just chaos.
Yeah.
And so all I can do, the best I can do is just pick a time. It's just say on this date at this time, this is what we're doing. I hope you can make it. If you can't, I'm sorry. Because you just can't, I can't accommodate 100 different people.
You can't accommodate everybody.
If 100 people from 30 different states come to the show, I cannot possibly accommodate them.
Yes.
Dan, if it rains, so we're actually going to have a huge tent. We're actually going to have like a huge carnival type tent. So we're actually totally set up for the sun and the rain. It's going to be dope.
Carl wanted to know about camping there. He thought there was availability for camping spots.
You're probably going to have to talk to Andrew about that. That's his property. I don't know if he wants to have random people just camping in the back of his property overnight or whatever. So that's up to them. I mean, they're not prudes or Puritans. You know, they're gonna be drinking and laughing and enjoying the event along with us. It's not like at 10:30 they're gonna be like, everyone get off my lawn and lock the door. That's not gonna happen. But I'm also trying to be courteous to them as their guest on their property. That if it's midnight and there's a bunch of people still there and we're still hanging out having a great old time, I'm sure that they'll be fine with that. But like at least Dave and I are going to have to start breaking some shit down because we can't have like a bunch of lights and a full stage and shit set up at like 2 a.m. when those poor people want to go to bed.
Yeah.
So if we don't have volunteers to help run the show, we will absolutely have to have some volunteers to like at least help us temporarily move stuff out from the outdoors, either back into the building or, I mean, we're going to have a lot to figure out. We've also got all the accommodating of like just the food and drink in general. Like I'm going to be providing a big chunk of the dessert bar and hope other people bring some stuff. But we're also going to have, we're checking right now on a group that might be bringing a pig where they're going to actually roast the pig at the event. That might happen. I don't want to guarantee it, but there's people talking about doing it. It'll be purely their generosity if it happens or not, because I'm not fucking doing that shit. We're probably going to have barbecue. We're probably going to grill some stuff. And then whatever people bring on top of that. There's someone that's going to be bringing sausage balls. That's going to be dope. We're going to have way more shit than we know what to do with.
I'm excited.
I'm not worried about having enough people, and I'm not worried about having enough food and drink. What I'm more worried about is just physically dealing with everything and knowing that, you know, we have to be prepared going into that day. And then Dave and I are going to be fucking retarded for about an hour in the middle of the evening. And then we have to break all that shit down just the same as, you know, if we were performing at, you know, whatever, where the Predators play, Gaylord or whatever. You know, when the concert's over, you know, all the roadies come out. I mean, they're breaking shit down 5 minutes after the last song. That's kind of how we're going to be. Like, if we want to be able to go hang out with everyone, that means we're going to have to get shit done. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot to do. It's
flying to helicopter. Well, I'm excited. Let's talk more about this. I know you get up and go to work tomorrow. It's your birthday and it's 11:30 already, but I like planning. I like this kind of stuff, so I'm excited to.
Yeah, let Mary help coordinate. I'm just gonna I'll show up.
Oh, you are. So you're officially showing up then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Dave's
pretty sure.
like
90%.
That's so good.
We should look into renting a van.
yeah, we got to rent a van. All right, I'll do that tomorrow.
We should do it
I'll put
ahead of
on my
time so that they actually have
to-do
one
list.
available.
Yeah. Some kind of big thing to drive down in, with all of our people and stuff. So
All the equipment.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's I'm positive that we can do a great event and also a great show within the event. And I love the fact that we might have way beyond what would be considered record attendance for us. But they're also just there's just sort of that natural, you can't help it. There's that natural pressure and anxiety of, it's great news to have tons of food and drinks, and it's great news to have like 100 people show up. But then you feel that much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Required to do a good show. Because it's like, wow, we're going to have, there's going to be a bunch of people there. There's going to be a bunch of people there to be like, Jesus, what the fuck is this? This sucks. Yeah. So.
I'm a Patreon of this? No,
I mean, I'd like to think that the people who are already a Patreon understand
I'm kidding.
what the hell's going on. But,
Yeah.
I mean, and of course.
Doing a live show is totally different than doing, live.
Yes.
On scene, that's totally different than doing a live show where you're in your studio and you're already set up
in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to come down early to help and figure things out.
OBS allows us to put on
easier.
a live broadcast for people in their homes that is good, but to do it for a live audience is we're gonna have to roll out. We're gonna have to have the speakers. We're gonna have to have the mics. We're gonna have to mic them. We're gonna have to have monitors for us. We might actually have a band. We might actually have a musical guest coming. That's not me. That's actually the hosts who say they actually have some connections with some. I mean, we're not talking Grammy winners, but they're like regionally pretty big artists who are like personal friends of theirs, and they're just saying, hey, if I invite you to this like private get together that we're having with a bunch of cool people, would you like come out and, do a song or two? And if they decide yes, then not only it'll be cool. Again, it's cool to have, but then we're going to be sitting here saying, okay, we got to produce this band now. We got to.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's think on all this. I mean,
I know as I was talking, Dave was just glazed over.
We had a fun day today. It was busy, but it was fun. We were outside. It was warm. It's 53 right now here, which is what? It's
a little too much.
Warm. I took my nap this evening. I couldn't believe it because we were outside with the kids, and I'm like, I am so tired. Like all that fresh air just exhausted me.
So what are?
It felt so good, but I woke up hot. I was like, oh, we need to open windows. It's hot.
This all got hijacked to talk about the event that no one's going to go to, and I, me being a terrible host, I didn't ask. So what are you guys doing for Dave's birthday?
Oh. Well, he's working this year. He usually takes the day off, and we go. Now, the last 2 years, no, because of COVID and everything was like shut down or limited and weird, or you had to wear masks, and it's like that's no fun. But
I'm just reading the chat.
This year's, so. Last time we went out for your birthday was 2019.
Yeah.
But we would always go to a local place.
Yeah, we get up early
and
hang out. Big
Go
crowds.
have some drinks and
with some
breakfast.
Authentic, Irish.
Well, some of the Irish food,
pub music.
Yeah. But music, Irish music, yes, good stuff. But this year, Dave's gonna work.
Yeah, and come home, probably have a Reuben and
make some
couple
Reubens
car bombs, and then
maybe Minecraft together. Oh wait, it's not my birthday; it's your birthday. Whatever you want to do, Dave. Yeah. So,
nothing big.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minecraft is what they're calling it these days.
Yeah. If your kids are really into Minecraft now, you know. Carl wants to play Warhammer. No, Carl, we're all going to have to, we're going to have an intervention with you about your Warhammer tactics before we play Warhammer again. This guy's he's just gone. I'm just, my head's on a swivel.
But wasn't his Discord not, you guys couldn't
he was a
communicate
mute.
with
He was
him,
just,
like there was no communications, so I have to pee, so I'm gonna go. But you can,
no, I'm gonna get ready
guys
to go
can. Alan, thank you for having me be a part of the after show. I have to run upstairs, and I'm just gonna gather things and go.
You're quitting. That's fine. I understand. Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a quitter.
Yeah.
I just know
she
that
did this Tuesday night too. She's like, I can't watch this whole Tool concert with you. I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're.
Good night, Dan.
You're new Blake Sherry. That's what I'm going to start calling you.
Wait, what? Blake Sherry? Yeah. What?
All the people
that it's abandoned.
Yeah, all the people that no longer are with us.
Okay.
For various reasons.
I understand, but I'm trying to be good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be good.
Yeah.
But I do actually.
I do need.
Yeah. We'll do.
I figured that'd be a good time for me to exit.
Yeah. No. We'll do a silent film called Mary Send Off, and it'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks, Alan.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
right,
Mary.
I do have to pee. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for helping celebrate Dave's birthday early. I love all of you guys.
Everybody say goodnight to Mary.
Yes. Good night.
See, what you're supposed to do is like drag me with you, but no.
Well, you're supposed to be the one who's really good at saying goodbyes and all that.
Yeah.
I'm just like end stream.
Yeah. No, we're gonna.
I gotta pee.
No, we're gonna
start up Warhammer.
Yeah, we're gonna fire up some Vermintide.
No.
It's gonna.
You had off tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Can I pick that up? I'm gonna.
Do you want the case? Where's the case?
Well, no, just give me my e-cig player.
Oh.
You can take the case.
Okay.
What we're not gonna play Warhammer right now, but I have, Dave, already had a number of people saying, so when's it gonna happen again? When's it?
People enjoyed that.
There was people wanting to know when.
That's great.
Yeah, when there's gonna be some more Warhammer, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's like a perfect storm of, motive and opportunity for yeah.
It's easy and fun.
Yeah. Well, see, because we're so close, we're right on the precipice of. I see. It's not a super grindy game. It's not like it's that hard to level up and stuff. But we do have to get everybody leveled up with sufficient amounts of equipment. Because I feel bad because, see, it's a double whammy. Not only are some of the players new to the game and they're just learning, but they're also lower level characters with weaker equipment. So I'm cheating because not only have I played the game a ton, I also have a max level character with good equipment. So like I would gladly switch that if I could. If it was something I could do where I could hand you my like glowy swords and say, "Here, Dave, you use those," then I would. But it doesn't work that way. It's all character specific. So. But Carl's apparently been putting a lot of work into it, and he's leveled up, and Yeah. Carl says, I thought I did decent for the weakest character in the game and no comms. For no comms, I'll give you that. But there isn't really a weakest character, so Sienna's not really the weakest character. There's plenty of people that play Sienna and do because there's, and she has all of her different classes and all that stuff.
And also with the comms, that didn't help too much either, because you're like, okay, everybody meet up on me. We're going to move forward, and everybody's just everywhere.
Yeah, there was so many times that I thought we were okay. So I started to turn to go ahead, and then I would turn around, and I would see you and Brian were perhaps in a spot of trouble. And so then I would think to myself, well, let me go back and help Dave and Brian. We'll get everybody up, we'll dust ourselves off, and then as soon as we're done with that, we'll move forward. By the time I get you guys round up, I can't even see Carl anymore. He's gone. He's just left. He's just gone. Never to return again. So should we find
you need that for it to be entertaining too.
Should we find ourselves playing at a higher difficulty, we do need to spend all of 15 seconds figuring out like who's going to do what for the team and not run 20 miles ahead. It's usually pretty bad.
Or just in the wrong direction, like where I was at.
That was a weird situation. But the funny thing is that we played most of that night on veteran, which is there's still no team damage. It's still very easy. You can still mostly just run forward and hack things and win. On Champion, it's still actually really easy. The fact that we didn't do well is just sad because it's actually still really easy, but there is team damage. You can't just shoot other teammates in the back of the head anymore. It goes up to Legendary, where on Legendary, you do need to at least have a plan of action. And then above that, it goes to Cataclysm, which is if even one of your 4 players is not playing very well, you will lose. So this is my fault. I didn't do enough research. I didn't realize that there was even level caps. I thought that you could just pick whatever you wanted. I was totally going to queue us up for a Cataclysm game. I was 100%. I was just going to throw us in there and be like, you're doing good, Dave. I do need to make a clip of you hacking that one dead rat, though. Just
pissed me off. He kept cornering me, gassing me.
Yeah, they do that. It gets they're kind of dicks. I actually know exactly what map I was going to play. If we could put it on Cataclysm difficulty, there's a map called Against the Grain, and the reason why I picked that one is that in the very beginning of the map, there's very few enemies. You cross this field, like a cornfield, there's very few enemies. And then when you get to the first little village, a Chaos Patrol walks by. On Cataclysm difficulty, this means there's going to be something like 10 Chaos Warriors. Remember the Chaos Warriors were those giant Chaos guys in the full suits of armor that like takes your whole team to beat them? The Patrol has like 10 of them.
Yeah.
So remember how I was saying like it's best to not draw the attention of the patrols because you just don't want to have to deal with them?
Yeah.
On Cataclysm difficulty, if you draw a patrol, you just leave, just quit. Just quit out of the game because you're dead. It's over. If you draw that patrol, it's just every man for himself. I kind of wanted that. And I thought that would have been maximum comedy.
That would entertain. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm perfectly content to perhaps in the future do it again where we take one of our regular nights of the week and we make that a gaming night. I feel bad because Wabi Sabi wanted to play.
Yeah, you got to get him in. He's a gamer. He's got his own gaming channel.
Yeah, we need that. We need another gamer on the team so that I can like my hand like developed atrophy after. I was
and like I'd love like in Discord you can screen share and stuff. Can't you like share your game? Maybe I could figure out a way to produce it. Even if we have too many people, I could step aside and I could add commentary.
I already told you I'm not letting you do that.
I know.
I'll let you produce it, but you still have to play. That's the thing. Is that because in
doing camera changes, I'm getting pretty bad.
But in my defense, the main reason is that so for one, this is our show, and two, because you've got a nice microphone and all that stuff. You're very clear on the channel. So like I didn't watch the whole thing because it's like 4.5 hours long. But I picked a random spot in the middle of the video and went back and started watching it, and it's great because then you'll get drunk Dave commentary of, oh here's this guy. Oh, did you see that? I got him. Oh, I'm taking a nap. So we can't not have that. That is very important to have on the next stream. We got to have that.
Dig it.
Well, buddy.
Yeah, I got a bounce.
Do you have a final thought?
This was an incredible after party.
Was it though?
We had a great time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Watch some home videos. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing like some really grainy old school shit. It was fun.
Yeah. Dan said of all the things that didn't happen, this didn't happen the most, and I missed the chat, so I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it was up there for a while. I forgot what it pertained to.
But everything that we've talked about did happen.
I think so.
We don't lie on here. Michael Boldin does. He lies a lot. On here, on this show, he does. On his show, he doesn't. On this show, he lies excessively. And Arco was there, and Arco's still here right now. And Arco was a good trooper. He was a part of the crew, so he suffered along with us on our 3-man party plus Carl.
Carl did great.
Sometimes Carl was doing well, and then at other times it was we're already struggling. And Carl's Carl's answer to the team is struggling is, well, let me just go get killed then. That'll show you, won't it? That was one of the parts in the video I fast forwarded to. We were going down a spiral staircase, and I had literally just said, all right, well, let's all regroup. And I looked down. Carl's all the way at the bottom of the stairs, down the hall, being stabbed to death. What am I supposed to do about that? I just emotionally moved on at that point.
He's making you stronger,
I guess. I don't need any more. Actually, to be honest, it is kind of fun. So the difficulty level's too low for me to like have a challenge, but it is a challenge for me to like take care of everyone. Yeah. That was kind of fun.
All right, the music's muting you out on my end.
Yeah, I mean, we're going. No one's gonna. So, over the last 2 weeks, we're now at a net loss of 3 subscribers, and we haven't gotten a single donation except for bits. And you've given me a few hundred bits, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure how to access them.
Yeah, I don't know what it means. I guess Twitch just gets my money.
I think it just announces to the channel that you wasted your money. I think that's how it works. Well, because a bit is a penny. And so somewhere on my account, there should be like a little thing that says, this is your bits.
Penny jar.
Yeah. But I don't know where that is or what to do with it.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Please, comma says, I don't know what bits are. I have some too. Please, comma, just give them all to me, and then they'll just be gone.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Just put them in, see what happens. Yes. Good night, Carl. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. The show was great. The after party was questionable, but the show was fucking good.
It was all fun.
It was a banger. We're gonna try to have Jeff Dice back next week if we can not have a situation. Thaddeus Russell's not coming though.
No.
On accounts of me calling him a pedophile.
Yeah, that'll do it usually.
Well, he should stop talking about fucking kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like I didn't do it.
It's weird. Weird hill to die on.
Right? Like, is that... Yeah. We don't have time for that. We're moving on.
Yeah.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. It was nice to have the song. We didn't get to have the song last time because Boldin just wouldn't leave us alone. But good night, everybody.